right. What's going on, everybody? Who 186 back again with the Overrated Podcast, episode 120. Hey, your camera went out, man. I apologize. Yeah, man. Steve's been dealing with some technical issues, unfortunately, with his camera. He said that he might buy a camera tomorrow, but I told him just hold off on it because I know web cameras are not cheap. At least good ones are not cheap. And I don't know. There's definitely something going on. I don't know if it's the camera's issue because you know how PC is. Like PC, like you have no idea what could be the problem with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, traditionalist 101's here, and yeah, I think something's. I think I might be better off of just because I've been having issues with this camera even since we first started the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, not when we first started, but ever since I bought it, I could see why it was on sale and it was on clearance because the camera sucks. It stinks. That's why.
Well, yeah. How much did you pay for it? Do you
I
remember?
think I know it was like in the low 100s.
Hmm. I mean, as far
So
as I'm concerned, that's not that. I mean, and you say it was on clearance, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So it was probably like a premium camera back in the day. But it's definitely not like I see web cameras that are a lot cheaper than that.
yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is, man. If it I'll just try to get it working while we doing the podcast. So, but anyway, I don't want that to irritate me. How was the weekend? How was your Thanksgiving? Yeah, by the way, still happy holidays, everyone. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I'll definitely share mine because I know I had a good time. But how was yours?
it was good. It was good. First off, most importantly, I didn't have to work, so that's good.
That's terrific.
We did, yeah, yeah. So spent Thanksgiving with pretty much with the family. Obviously my sister. Shout out to Whitney. She cooked up a really good Thanksgiving dinner, so that's good. So we decided to go. I decided to take my dad, take him over there. He hasn't seen the new niece, yet, so he got a chance to see her. Um, and it was the first time, man. I want to say the first time, and man, I want to say, yeah, about 19, 20 years that every member of our immediate family was there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did see the picture you guys took. I think it was a pretty cool picture. It was you, your
yeah.
dad, Whitney, Rudy, and I think Annette. I think also
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
on yeah. That was a pretty cool picture. I haven't seen you guys took like a group photo in like years, so that was awesome. So what was the food? I'm curious what kind of food you guys were having.
Okay, it pretty much traditional turkey stuff. Turkey, ham, rice. I'm trying to think. They had sweet potato pie, salad. What else was there? What else was there? Damn, I'm drawing a blank right now. But they had Modelo. They had drinks, so I was happy with I was happy with that.
You got drunk?
Sang no, 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 no. No, I didn't get drunk. I had sangria. I think that's what it's called. I had some of my sister's sangria. Like overall, it was really good. It was just fun to be around the family and just talk. It was talking. I mean, that's just just it was just a get together.
I'm assuming you still have a lot of leftovers.
No, no, I ate the food and the leftovers. No, we're good. No, we're good. We're good there, man. We're good there. So shout out to Moto. What's going on, man? That dude finished shooting hoops and lifting weights. That dude doing his thing out there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, Mota. Like I like once again, I really appreciate the consistency, and you constantly making it your priority to, it's one of your priorities, to stay in shape and to be the best basketball player that you could be.
Yeah,
I, you do have
he's having camera issues, so that's why his camera was off for a little bit.
yeah, 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 yeah. I was dealing with it even before even before the podcast had started. I was trying. We could have started early. We could have started around like 7:10 or 7:15, but my camera was just driving crazy. So, but now it looks like it looks like it's okay. I'm not gonna touch it. So hopefully, no more technical issues from the rest of this podcast. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
And you said he said his jump shot is nasty. No, you do have a good jump shot. Like I've noticed, like a lot of your shots, will go in, and they will go in back to back. So you definitely have a good jump shot. So very, very kudos to you, man.
mhm. So before I go to my Friday, how was your Thanksgiving?
Yeah. So my Thanksgiving, it was fabulous. Like it was a ton of food. We still till this day have leftovers. Like we
Mhm.
and because so my mom, she cooked. My sister, she cooked. My brother, he made dessert. Like he made some brownies,
Mhm.
and the brownies, everybody finished it quick. And
Well,
then
what's funny? I bought apple pie, for Thanksgiving, and I ate it like in 2 days.
oh, for real?
Yeah, apple pie is really good, man. I love apple pie.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, we
Yeah,
had we had okay, so the desserts that we had brownies, we had apple pie, we had pumpkin pie, and we had pecan pie. Like it was just outrageous of the amount of food that we had. And then
which one is your favorite pie? What's your favorite pie?
pecan pie.
Oh, ugh,
Yeah. Pecan pie is where it's at, man.
ugh. I'm good.
Hey, what's yours?
Mine is pumpkin, but second is apple.
No, I like pumpkin too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You're right with the pumpkin. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree with you there with the pumpkin. Pumpkin is good, but that pecan pie is my number one.
Ugh.
So so we had all that food. We had all of that, and then my sister, my older sister, she wanted everyone to have a get together at her place.
Mhm.
So I go to her place, and it was a ton of food over there. It was so much food that they still had a whole turkey left. They still had a whole ham left, and I'm seeing macaroni, I'm seeing shepherd's pie. It Oh man. So I said, all right, let me go ahead and take some. And bro, when I'm telling you I was full, I mean, whoa, I felt like I had a beer belly. Like that I felt like I had maybe two beer bellies because I was just constantly eating. But this morning I said, all right, when Monday comes, I'm gonna work out, and that's what I did this morning. And man, it definitely feels good to burn that stuff off. So yeah, I really am thankful for the family. I'm thankful to be alive. Thankful to have friends who I could count on, build better relationships with. So yeah, it's definitely awesome to have Thanksgiving and just share the day. And then I also want to appreciate is that you actually had your day off because so many holidays you have to work. And
Mhm.
I want to say this: I don't support any company that opens on major holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas or Easter. I know you don't care about Easter, but I,
Mhm.
I cannot support these companies that are constantly opening in every single holiday. Certain places like hotels, motels, the airport, hospitals, I get why they're open. I understand that. But if you're just a regular restaurant, you have no business opening. Yeah, all that tells me is that you are just full of greed, and that's it. You don't give a crap about the employees. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll discuss the CM Punk stuff in a second, Moto. So I see you tweeting away. Um. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, my Thanksgiving was really good. Friday. before I went, what I decided to do is what I wanted to do
Hmm.
is what I should have done is I should have called you guys. I don't know what you guys were doing. I don't know if you did you work that Friday?
No.
Okay, so you're off Friday. So I should have yeah, so I should have called you. Probably I should have called Randy and Rudolph or whatever. But I wanted to watch a certain football game that Friday.
Hmm.
Can you guess what football game that was, Steve?
Of course I know what football game that was. I don't know why they even showed it on a Friday. I don't ever recall them doing that. Have they done that before?
No, that was the first time ever.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly what game that you're talking about. And now I was in a happy mood, and now you just made me go into a bad mood now. Go ahead.
But what I wanted to do is I wanted to hang out at a mall, whatever, do some Black Friday shopping. And I dude, trust me, like, dude, it was a fucking now I wouldn't call it disaster, but it was crazy at Sawgrass.
It was busy
Oh my god, was it? Oh my god, it was. Yeah. Absolutely was busy.
on Friday.
Yeah, Black Friday.
That's crazy because have you been seeing the stories of malls being completely empty and nobody doing their traditional camping out in the street and the parking lot waiting for the stores to open?
No, I didn't see that, but the thing is that part of the reason why because Cyber Monday is a big deal now. You know what I mean? Cyber Monday, like, which is something I actually didn't. Actually I did take advantage of something on Cyber Monday, but I actually did it on Saturday. So
Oh, okay.
they had like an early sale or whatever. But yeah, but no, but I mean every store I went to was busy.
No, okay. Oh, well, I guess down here in Florida, but from what I've heard, there's been so many places people just haven't like. There was one video of of a store opening. I can't remember if it was Target or some mall, and only one person came in, and
Mhm.
and people went outside because you know how. What a lot of the staff would do, they would record all the chaos that goes on when
Yeah.
people rush into the store, and the camera guy goes outside and he sees nobody, no lines, no nothing. But that clearly wasn't in Florida. That was somewhere else. And I think you mentioned Cyber Monday. I think the reason why this stuff is happening is because of inflation. That's what I think. I think that
I
had
can see
something to do with it. With
I can see that.
Yeah, I think that's what's been going on and why people are not all crazy for the holidays and why people are not buying this and buying that. So I honestly believe that inflation is what caused, you know, for people not buying stuff on Black Friday, at least in some areas.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I can see that. But the reason why I probably should have called you guys was because I wanted to hang out with you guys for Black Friday. But the problem is that the football game started at 3, right?
Hmm.
And it didn't end until like 6:30 or whatever. And by that time, it was like I know it's gonna take you guys forever to come down here. So I figured, you know what, F it. Hopefully we'll do something next year.
Hmm.
But regarding the game, right? So the game starts, whatever, and like it's I knew I had a feeling that this game was a trap game because you don't know what that dude named Todd Bowles or whatever the hell his name is. You don't know what he can do. Well, we know now, not much, but you never know what he can do. Obviously, they have a great defense, and look, they got 2 picks off of Tua back to back series. They got a touchdown out of one of them, and then something magical happened. Well, not magical for you, but magical for me.
Yeah, his name is Tim Boyle, by the way.
I mean, is he good enough to have his name correct? To have his name correct? Deserve to have his name correct?
Yeah, sure. I guess. Yeah,
All right.
sure.
So Todd Bowles.
Tim Bowles.
He goes,
Go
okay.
ahead.
Tim Bowles. He tried to do the Hail Mary. Javon Holland catches it. and proceeds to go 99 yards for a touchdown. They call it the Hail Mary. The emphasis on hell, Hell. And that point, I knew the game was over. At that point, I knew the game was over because the one thing that you guys could not afford to do is make the defense score a touchdown against you guys. That's
Yeah.
the one thing that you guys failed in the most spectacular way possible. It was I all I did like before the play. I was frustrated because Tua threw his second pick. I wasn't happy. But then when the Hail Mary happened and he ran it in for the touchdown, all I could do was laugh. All I could do was laugh. That's all I did was just laugh because I knew the game was over. So I mean, yeah, I mean you can I don't know what you want to say about it, but
Um,
uh,
I think this was this play you were talking about.
I mean I don't know if we should show it.
Or even if it's just a couple of seconds. Even that just one particular play, we can't show it.
Yeah, we can. I don't think we can.
Uh, okay. Well,
But you can put it on the Discord and have
um,
have everyone bask in the greatness of New York Jets football.
like when I saw when we got the interception, and and I remember in the first quarter, I think you guys, I think the Miami Dolphins went for fourth and goal, went for it, and we stopped you.
Mhm.
So you guys turned the ball over on downs, and I knew that the defense was going to show up when they did. The problem is, without any good offense, there's just no way that the defense could, withstand or try to put this elite finesse offensive team on hold for 4 quarters without the offense doing it, without the offense not doing anything. Like I knew for a fact that we won't be able to hold you guys for 4 quarters. We did in the first quarter, but the rest of the quarter it was just like it seemed like I felt like the defense was pretty much frustrated, especially during the second half,
Mhm.
because they did their job, and then we stopped you guys, and then we shoot a Hail Mary, and what happens after this happens after the interception, mind you, right after the interception, you guys end up scoring a touchdown anyway. That was like the most frustrating thing, at least for me, for a very, very long time. I haven't been like so pissed off. And then after hear critical drop just screaming in my ear, he's just screaming in the background, oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. He's just screaming and screaming and screaming. Hearing him celebrate, ticked me off even more. And when I forgot who the guy was that made the interception,
Javon
but
Holland.
yeah, when he made the interception, I knew he was going to score because all of our receivers were behind him. And the
Yeah.
reason why I wanted to show that play was I wanted to count how many receivers were there and how pissed off I was because it felt like, especially Wilson, there were like you see guys falling down, you see guys just jogging. What in the world are you doing? Like you guys know that you're the only one that could catch him. We can't rely on on the offensive lineman to tackle this guy. And what and Todd Boyle was the Tim Boyle was the last guy. Like come on, he wasn't going to be able to tackle him. Just like once he scored, I knew the game was done. I knew the game was done. So I'm just like dude, I just don't know what to say at this point. I really don't. Todd Boyle was a sitting duck in that game. He was a sitting duck. You have the offensive lineman. Seems like they don't know what the hell that they were doing trying to protect their quarterback. They couldn't do anything. This guy got sacked 7 times. 7 in that game. 7. And mind you, when last week when we played against the Bills, we got sacked 6 times. 6. And against the Chargers, I think what do we play? Who do we play before the Bills? I think it was the Chargers, or I think it was the Chargers before. No, I think it was the Raiders, and I think it was the Chargers before that. I think the
Mhm.
Chargers sacked us like 8 times. So that already shows you how atrocious the offensive line is.
I
They're
mean, it also
garbage.
shows you that it's not just Zach Wilson.
Say that again.
It also showed you that it's not just Zach. It's not all Wilson's fault.
No, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm blaming. Well, I mean, I'm still hold him responsible for the majority of it because our offensive lineman is not good, and by knowing that they're not good, you should just take the Tom Brady route, short, quick passes. Get rid of the football as quickly as possible. Don't
I
stop
mean,
holding on to the ball. Stop going 5, 6, 7 yards in the pocket especially when you're in shotgun. Stop doing that.
I
Stop doing that.
mean,
Those guys are going to catch you. Go ahead.
I mean, like, isn't that on the offensive coordinator?
Like, come on, man. Do you seriously believe that the quarterback had absolute no foresight whatsoever to determine that okay, maybe I should probably get rid of the ball quicker?
I mean, maybe not. I don't know, but
No,
like,
absolutely,
but
absolutely,
here's the
yes.
problem. The problem is that at the end of the day, your team is just not good, and it's unfair to put all of it on Zach Wilson. Now, I'm not saying Zach Wilson's anything good. He's not good,
Okay, good.
but he had no chance to get better with that O line. That's just reality. So I don't know what they're gonna do in the future. Frankly, I don't care. But it is what it is. Dolphins
Look,
won. I'm happy.
look, we look for the simple fact that our offensive lineman is bad and our quarterback, all of our quarterbacks are bad, with the exception of Rodgers. We just need to run the ball more. We need to design different plays for Brees Hall so that way he could be effective in the game. He's the best running
Oh,
back that
he,
we
he, he played. He played on Friday. I had no idea.
You didn't know?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
played.
I was like, where's Brees Hall at? I'm like, I don't see him.
Yeah, yeah, he played, and that's what we need to do from now on. We just need to try to run the ball as much as possible. That's what
I
we
mean, I
need
knew
to do.
I was just joking. I knew he was there, but he didn't do nothing.
I don't think he
So
had enough touches.
no, I don't think so either. But when he did have touches, he ain't go nowhere. He ain't go
Mm,
nowhere.
I mean, I don't
So
know. I don't know. But yeah, and last but not least, I'm also so irritated with the organization because once again, knowing that we have a bad quarterback, you need to bring somebody else. Bring somebody else in. I've already said you already missed the mark when it comes to Carson Wentz. You already missed the mark. I'm not saying bring Joe Flacco, like forget that guy. I don't even know if he's with a team right now, but if he is, forget that guy. Bring Nick Foles. That's what you need to bring.
bro, like you guys, I hear a lot of people say. I hear a lot of because what I like to do is I like to see the fan reaction of losing teams. So I was just watching the reaction of Jets fans, and you guys keep saying, "Oh, you guys should have brought in a veteran quarterback." Veteran quarterback. You guys do realize that no matter what happened, you guys we're not gonna be good no matter what with that O line. Did you guys see what happened to Aaron Rodgers?
Of course, we're so happy to Aaron
Four,
Rodgers.
four, four plays, he was running for his life on three of them. This was going to be a disaster no matter what. You guys saying, "Oh, bring this guy in, bring that guy in." They did that. They brought in Todd Bowles or Tim. I don't know his name. Tim Bowles, Todd Bowles, whatever his name is. They bought. You guys didn't want Zach Wilson, and you guys got your wish. But you guys do realize that no matter what happened, no quarterback is going to be successful with that O line. There's no way. that O line, you guys were not going anywhere with this O line, and with this, I have to say, kind of overrated offensive skill players that you guys do have. Kind of overrated. I mean, like Bryce Hall. Like I get he's not getting touches, but
Brees Hall, get the name right. Brees Hall.
I mean, he played like Bryce Hall on Friday. You know what I mean? But Brees Hall, my bad. So, like, even with the touches he got, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. And your receivers are not, or I don't think your receivers are anything special. I always hear about this Garrett Wilson guy, but I don't, I don't see him doing anything of relevance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, look, your team's no good. It is what it is. And you guys calling for this quarterback and that quarterback. Look, if those guys were any good, they'd be in the league right now. Nick Foles, I don't know where he's at, but if he was anything worthwhile, he would be starting right now. The plan was to have Aaron Rodgers there and have Zach Wilson learn underneath him. But the problem is that with your O line couldn't protect Aaron Rodgers, and your O line can't protect Zach Wilson. It just your O line stinks. It is what it is.
I mean, yeah, our online stinks, but as far as Nick Foles is concerned, I'm pretty sure, and I am confident to say that he is far better than freaking Tim Bowles and Zach Wilson. Far better.
I mean, that's fine, but you guys aren't gonna win with him. And like I always say, the best guy for your team is the guy who's already there. And unfortunately for you guys, that's Zach Wilson. And
you just said that you just how we better off when you yourself said that he's no good.
Yeah, he's no good, but no other quarterback off the street is gonna help you guys. That's the problem. And I think that's what a lot of you guys don't understand. Like, no matter how bad he is, no one else you can get off the street is better than him. So I don't know. I would much rather move on if I were you.
No. I think with the defense, that we have, and if as long as we have a quarterback that actually knows what they're doing, we should be fine, because we've beaten good teams, unlike you guys did. We've beaten good teams.
You guys what has that gotten you? What that got you? What's that got you?
What do you mean? What's that got? It gave us wins. That's what it got us. It gave us wins.
Is that really what you want to brag about right now?
It gave us wins. That's what I'm saying.
We beat good teams, and you guys stink. You're a good defense away from being the New England Patriots.
Yeah, okay.
And did you guys beat them?
No.
So you want to brag about the good teams that you beat, but you can't beat the bad teams. Makes no sense to me.
Okay.
And mind you, and you couldn't beat a team who has a quarterback that's worse than the one that you have.
How you know he's worse?
I mean, how many times? Like, I mean, yeah, it's hard to compare shit to shit, but that Mac Jones fellow, that dude's not good either. He's not good. But at least with Zach Wilson, I can say the O-line is the main issue. Mac Jones, in my opinion, he's just not very good.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, you guys couldn't beat them. So, I mean, if you want to put, hopefully you guys have room on the banner for the we beat the Eagles championship. We beating some good team championship. Hopefully that's what you guys. If that's what you're hanging your hat on, then by all means, have at it, man. But I would much rather be where the Dolphins are at than being where the Jets are at.
No, that's fine. Like, go ahead, go ahead and do your, your spiel, your talk. Just so you know, we don't have our quarterback. So you could talk all the crap that you want. Talk all, the crap that you want. But mind you, you guys still haven't been a good team yet. And then when it comes late in December, that is where you guys are truly going to be tested. When it comes to late December,
So I
that's the
mean,
true test.
okay, you guys the only team to be Philadelphia, and where are you guys at now?
We don't have a quarterback.
You're the laughing stock of the league.
We don't have a quarterback. That's why. That's what
I
happened.
mean,
We don't have a quarterback.
that doesn't change what I just said.
I'm just speaking the truth. When a quarterback is there, then you could talk. But until we actually have a quarterback who could play, I mean, like, what do you really expect a team to go? You can't expect a team to go anywhere without a good quarterback. I mean, like, let's be real here. Where can we actually go without somebody who doesn't know how to read the defense? We have somebody who can't throw, accurately. We have somebody who doesn't know how to get rid of the ball, quick enough. Like, well, what do you expect? We expect, to lose more games because our quarterback is oblivious to football. That's what I
I
think.
mean, you're the one that bragging about beating good teams. So yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that should be enough, right?
No, our
That
def-
should,
our defense, can't, like, look, we're not the Ravens, okay? We're not the Baltimore Ravens when they were solely reliant on their defense when they won that Super Bowl against, I think it was against the Giants. I can't remember, but it was a long time ago.
yeah, it was Giants. It was Giants.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying I wouldn't be bragging about beating great teams when your team, you know, is not good. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm not bragging. Just speaking facts.
Okay, well, like I said, your team is where you're at. My team's where we're at.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had to hear you. I had to hear critical drop. Like I said, screaming all in my ear. Oh, let's go, let's go. I had to hear my pops talking all that smack. Oh, the Jets is this, Jets is that. So I had to hear from multiple people. Or just how bad the Jets are. And now I have to hear in this podcast from you. Like, or
Um,
that's real nice. That's real cute. Real cute.
I mean, I'm just speaking facts. I'm just speaking facts. Malta said that he was going for the Dolphins. Good man, good man.
Why?
Nolan, what's going on, bro? How you doing? Let me see. So Malta said he didn't buy anything for Black Friday. I bought like a Dolphins cup. So, and I think I bought a pair of pants. So I didn't really do much because with the deal that I was looking for was already long gone. So that's why I wish I would have gone earlier. But like I said, I wasn't gonna be able to concentrate on shopping when the Dolphin game was on, so I had to wait. All right, so Rosemary's in the chat. How you doing? How you doing,
Hello,
girl?
Rosemont. What's up?
Okay, so Ruben's in the chat. What's going on, bro? One thing I can say is that is that me moving allowed me to enjoy these Black Friday deals because I finally have a job and live in a place where the income keeps away inflation, keeps away inflation.
Oh man, I didn't know it was like that in Seattle. That's actually really good to hear. Like, I know a lot of people have moved, up north, like to Orlando. Some people had moved out west to Fort Myers, Naples. Others
Mhm.
had moved to Texas, and they all pretty much said the same thing. And I think in Georgia too. They said that making money, the income, keeps up with inflation in those states, in those cities.
Okay.
So it has to be true because more and more people, are constantly leaving Florida. People are leaving New York, especially California. They're they're leaving all the expensive, finesse, type of states and moving on elsewhere. I mean, I don't blame them for it. I don't blame them for it.
All right, and I got a Series X2. Just so send gamer tags and I'll add you when I get home. Okay,
Well,
I
good,
got
good,
you.
good, 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 good luck with that, Ruben. Because Huey 186 here doesn't even play his Xbox.
I
When,
do play
when,
my
when, when was the last game that you played on your Xbox?
Halo
And when was that?
a couple days ago.
Get the crap. How long ago was
Couple
it?
days ago.
A couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And before that,
Before that, I played. What did I play?
yeah, you had to think about it. It was a long
No, no,
time
no,
ago.
no, 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 no. I'm trying. I'm trying to think. Oh man. And damn, what did I play? Was it Quake or Forza? I think I played Quake.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was either Quake or Forza. But yeah, there's several games I'm playing on it right now.
Okay. All right.
And I think the Killer Instinct collection is supposed to come out tomorrow. If it's on Game Pass, then I'll download it.
I thought you didn't care about the new Killer Instinct game.
No, I'll give it a try. I'll see what it has in it, and if I don't like it, I'll just delete it. But I'll give it a try. Also with the critical drop, what's going on, man? Also with the Tekken tournament oil protest and the Game Awards incident, the Game Awards is now beefing up security to avoid future stage crashes. All right, that's good. That's good. That's something that definitely is needed. Okay, so on that note, let's start the
But
podcast.
I'm not really understand like beefing up security to avoid future stage crashers.
Yeah, because you remember when you remember you showed us the incident at the Tekken tournament.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay, so they're beefing up security.
yeah. I remember last year. I think last year at the Game Awards, like when
Oh,
I forgot who won Game of the Year, but there was a kid that came up on stage and was talking about something about Bill Clinton or some bullshit like that.
yeah.
They absolutely need to beef up security. Absolutely.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um, and I also want to say that I think I need to apologize to my Packers because we've been winning games. We beat the Detroit Lions, which
Yeah,
is
that was surprising.
yeah, that I was very very surprised. I mean, look, they're still below 500. They're 5-6, which I'm not is not too exciting, too excited about. Not to get too excited about, but at the very least, they are still on the hunt, to make it into the wild card. They're still in the hunt. They're still in the hunt. So I appreciate that. And they pretty much controlled the whole entire game because I think in the first half, like I think they had 20, 23 points in the first half. In the second half, they only scored I think like a few points, but you could tell throughout the whole entire game they seem to have the whole entire game under control.
Yeah, and that's a bad loss for Detroit too, because I think that was their third loss of the year,
Yeah, they're 8-3 now.
and yeah, so you not only obviously have Philadelphia who won their game, right? You also have San Francisco that's playing great, and you got Dallas playing great. And look, they'll be fine. They'll like there's nothing they'll be fine. But you don't want to lose games like that to teams that you're at a point now where you have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat.
Yeah,
That's where you're at that point now where you have to beat the teams you're supposed to be, and they should not have lost to Green Bay. So
yeah, and speaking of San Francisco, yeah, they absolutely obliterated the Seahawks,
and
obliterated them.
next week is Philadelphia versus San Francisco.
I know you're gonna watch that game. You have to watch that game.
100%. That is literally like a preview of the NFC Championship game.
Oh, absolutely.
That's it. That's the
Absolutely.
preview. So
Absolutely. I mean, that team, my goodness, dude. Like I think they had, like 170, 160 yards in rushing, like and obviously over 200 plus yards in passing. And I'm just saying, for goodness sakes, bro, like it amazed me now how different that team looks when everybody's healthy. Like it seems like no one is even a challenge to the San Francisco 49ers. And you know what my routine is going to be. I will not rest until you apologize to Brock Purdy. I mean, and you know, and having before we start the podcast, you have time to do that now. Before we start, you have time to do that now. Are you going to apologize?
No. All right. So moving on. Let's
You
start the
know
podcast.
you yeah. I think you do because you know you realize the more you do not apologize about Brock, the more bad it looks more on you because he continues to prove you wrong.
What
You
did
you
he prove
you
me
do
wrong?
you do realize that, right?
What did he prove me wrong on?
What do you mean? What did he prove you on wrong?
What
I
did he
mean,
prove me wrong?
the guy was like, I think he was like what 21 for 30 on passing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, he did throw one interception, you know, but you know who, but whatever. Two threw a couple interceptions, and the guy has obviously the guy has a lot of butterfingers, filled with butterfingers. You know, his fingers filled with butter since he can't hike the ball properly, and you know,
Are
but
you talking about Tua?
yeah, and what I will
Wait,
also
wait,
say,
wait, 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 wait,
what
wait,
I
wait,
will
wait,
also no
wait,
no
wait,
no hold
wait,
on,
wait,
I gotta say this, I gotta say this real quick.
no.
I gotta say this real
You,
quick. I gotta say this real quick.
I am not going to
I
take slander from a guy who cheers
I
for Zach Wilson. I'm
look
not taking slander from guys who have to watch Zach Wilson and Todd Bowles play quarterback.
look. What I will say, and this is probably going to piss you off, and if it does, no, I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm going to stick with my guns and say that Brock Purdy is better than Tua.
Mm-hmm.
He's better. I'm on record on this podcast today. Brock Purdy is better than Tua. Yes. And just so you know, even though you guys are winning and you leading in the division, that's fine. I don't want to hear you say anything about Tua being an MVP candidate. I don't. I don't. All this lights out that you're talking about, about Tua is this, Tua is that. Although you guys are winning games, he's not doing that anymore. Even with the elite talent that he has, he's not dominating the league like he was like in the beginning of the season. You do realize that, yeah?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know you do.
I tuned you out after a Jets fan said that Brock Purdy's better than Tua. When we already know that we already seen the evidence is that when he doesn't have his skill guys, he's a nobody.
Oh, and what did Tua do before Tyreek Hill arrived to the team?
He had good games.
No, yeah,
He had good games without
yeah.
Tyreek. He has. Now with Tyreek, he's an MVP candidate, and he still is, by the way. But with when Brock Purdy doesn't have talent, he's a nobody. He's a nobody. But I said multiple times he's better than Garoppolo.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because
Let's give him
like I said,
let's give him a
like I
trophy
said,
because he's better than
like
Garoppolo.
I said, Garoppolo didn't put up these type of numbers when he was there, and he had a lot of the same talent. So I said that he's the right guy for that team. But you've seen when he doesn't have that talent, he's just a guy.
Same as Tua. But let me
I mean,
let me say this. Let me ask you this one last question.
but here's the thing. Before I let you go, but here's the thing. Tua was a top 5 draft pick for a reason. Brock Purdy was the last guy chosen in the draft. So what did that tell you?
So because he was a top 5 draft pick, I mean, the evidence still shows that Brock is still the better quarterback.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
Okay, even okay. To me, having we already established, and you established this also, how elite your offense is. So of course it's going to be a whole lot easier for
And San Francisco
Tua
offense
to take
San
over.
Francisco offense is not elite.
As when compared to the Dolphins, I would say the Dolphins offense, well, especially when it comes to the receivers, I would say that the Dolphins is better than the 49ers.
I
You don't
I
agree?
no, I don't agree.
You think their receivers are better than yours?
I think they're on par.
No, I'm talking about the receivers. You think their receivers are better than
You keep
yours?
talking. You keep talking about a specific position. I'm talking about the whole team in general.
I'm talking about offense, and I'm talking about the receivers.
I'm talking about offense. They have Ryan McCaffrey, Kittle. I think George Kittle. They have a Ayuk. I think that's his name, and they have Deebo Samuel. They have 4 elite skill players on that team. They have 4. That's not a little thing. So both offenses are elite. If you want to pick the Dolphins over San Francisco, that's fine. You're comparing apples and oranges at this point. You're comparing apples and oranges at this point.
I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would say apples and oranges, but
But I think if you think that Brock Purdy is better, then I mean, it's fine. You can be wrong all you want.
No. I think I'm right about that. But look, we need to start the podcast. But I wanted to ask you this one last question before we start. With the loss that the Bills had against the Eagles, do you think it's over for them?
I'm not gonna say it's over. I'm not gonna say it's over. You go ahead.
Yeah, because because I know this just makes things more easier for you guys now that they lost again. But I am very curious to know if and by the way, no more talking trash about Hurts anymore. Okay, that dude played great in that season. I mean that game. He helped them come back. So enough crap this crap talk of he's not doing anything this season. The same thing the same thing you said that. You said that last week.
No, I said that he didn't do anything in that game against Kansas City. Yeah, I said that against Kansas City. I give him all the praise in the world against when he played us. He was outstanding. He thoroughly outplayed Tua that game. And he absolutely, and if you're gonna give anyone an MVP, the contender for MVP right now, it should be Jalen.
When I said that last week, you said no.
Or not? No, you said it after that performance against Kansas City. He didn't do well against Kansas City. But after that performance against Buffalo, absolutely he should be an MVP candidate. He should be, absolutely.
You put him ahead of Lamar Jackson. They won too, by the way.
Yeah. I would, because his team has a better record.
What's the Ravens' record?
Ravens is 8-3.
No. Remember they won, so I think they're 9-3.
Not okay,
because they beat.
Okay.
Yeah. They beat the Chargers. I don't know what the hell was going on with the Chargers, man. Like that team is just clearly up and down. They're 4-7. I think their playoff run is over. Like that for sure.
Their coach is gonna get fired.
You know something? I've heard the exact same thing. And news outlets and people on social media. They all said the exact same thing. Like you can't have a quarterback that talented and you're 4-7 and with a great defense like that. Like I'm sorry, no, you can't. You can't have a losing record like that.
And then you have the Broncos that are starting to play. You're the worst team in that division, and that shouldn't. When you have a player like with Herbert, that cannot be the case.
Oh man, that was music. That was spot on what you just said. Yes,
you can't. The fact that you guys are now the worst team in that division, that should be a fireball offense in itself. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This should be a fireball offense.
I agree.
Yeah, but
anyway, I don't think there's any other relevant teams for us to talk about now. So I know there's a game going on right now.
I don't give a shit about the game, to be honest with you. It's Minnesota
No,
and
I
Chicago.
care because I care so I could talk trash to Roy. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
I'm not even watching it. Like, not even worth my time.
right.
Right, because Critical Drop said that you need to stay off the weed,
No,
and
no, 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 no. I don't. No, I'm not. I don't have to stay off anyway. One, I don't smoke weed, and number two, you because you are also a Dolphins fan. Critical drop. It compromised your judgment. You should know that with how how Brock Purdy has been playing. Yeah, at the very least, you can admit that he's at least on par with Tua, but you don't want to admit that either. But I think that he's better.
as far as what skill level, no, not even close. As far as like MVP odds, yeah, sure, why not? But it was proven when he doesn't have those guys, he's not very good. It's already been proven.
You could say the same thing with Tua, but we could go ahead. We can move on.
No,
We can move
no,
on.
you can't. You can't say the same thing about Tua. You can't say the same thing about Tua. Now, like I said, he wasn't an MVP candidate, but he was also in.
Not
He
even
was also
close.
in, no, but he's also was in his rookie year, and he coming off an injury, and he had a coach that clearly didn't like him. The circumstances surrounding what he went through is very different than Brock Purdy.
Well, but the coach didn't like him, and rightfully so. But the thing is, he, I think what happened was he probably would have had a different position if Tyreek Hill was there a year earlier. I think if Tyreek Hill, was there a year earlier, then he probably would have had a complete different position because maybe he just wasn't impressed when you don't have any receivers that
But how
elite
but
receivers
how
there.
but how can you impress somebody when you're coming off of an injury and you just all of a sudden put him in to the starting lineup 8 games into a season when you had a quarterback who was doing well? As far as I'm concerned, he set him up to fail.
You think so?
Yeah,
You-
absolutely he did.
So you think
And
so you don't think Tua should have played at all that season?
no,
Hmm. Okay.
no. He like one he was a rookie, and two, like he was still coming off of the hip injury. He should like that. The thought process was okay. You let him take the year to learn or whatever, and then year 2 or year 3, that's when he starts to play. But he put him in 8 games in, and he had good games, but he also had games where he struggled. That's what a rookie is. That's what most rookies are like that. But he absolutely set him up to fail. As far as I'm concerned, that's exactly what he did.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So and also shout out to my sister Whitney. She's in the chat, and like I mentioned earlier, she cooked up some delicious Thanksgiving feast. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah. Shout out to you, Whitney. I didn't know you could cook like that.
yeah, I think it was her first time hosting Thanksgiving, and she did a great job. So props to her.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Good. Shout out to you, Whitney. It would be great if you could also share that same dish with me. No, no, maybe next year. That'd be awesome.
All right. So all right. So yeah. So as typical, we're an hour in, and we have a lot to talk about.
I mean, you say typical like it's a bad thing. You were the one that was so excited to talk about what happened on Friday. You did.
Yeah. And
All right. So just say it. I'm just letting you know you're partially responsible for that.
no, because only one of us decided to take a stance like 4 weeks in, being like, "Oh well, Brock Purdy's better than Tua." Like, come on.
Yeah, and you wanted it, and you instead of just taking that line down, you wanted to talk about that more and say, oh no, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true. So,
No, it's not true, but whatever. It is what it is. Anyways, first topic is the return of CM Punk to the WWE. Right.
mhm.
So all right. So where we left off with the CM Punk thing, right? So I made a video. How long ago was it? It was like several months ago. I made
Yeah,
a video detailing CM Punk getting fired by AEW, right? Because like I said, he had an incident backstage. It was the second incident in a year involving him and another wrestler. getting into a fight. And and according to Tony Khan, the head of AEW, it was time for him to go. Right. So as of right now, Raw is on the air right now, and they didn't. I thought they were going to open the show with Punk, but they're probably going to end the show with Punk.
Is on the air right
So
now, and they didn't.
Go ahead. You?
What happened?
Okay. Yeah. My bad. All right. So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I forgot to mention that. I know Malta made a couple comments about him, and he was a huge fan of him back in the day. Straight edge. And he had his own group, which I believe that group was called the Straight Edge Society back in the day. So yeah. So all right. So yeah. So he got fired, and then there was talk about whether or not he was gonna go to WWE, go back to WWE, right? So like you said, like he left like what 10, almost 9-10 years ago. 9 years ago, he left.
Mm-hmm.
He left 9 years ago. There was a whole big to do when it comes to drama and all the other stuff. And when he came back to AEW, he took a lot of pop shots at WWE. Said that the company made him sick and all the other stuff. And then he gets fired, falls back to WWE, right? So the reason why this is such a big deal is because this was something that was not 100% expected. Now, let me also say this: around the time that CM Punk got let go, WWE was in the process of being sold by Endeavor, right? So
yeah.
with the Endeavor deal, they were going to do this merger with UFC. So they couldn't really, I wouldn't say afford, but they couldn't really sign talent at that point in time. They kind of had to wait till the merger became official, and then they will start trying to sign guys, right? And and WWE. Go ahead.
But didn't the opposite happen when they were just firing and laying people off?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so now with this deal, like obviously, Cody Rhodes has already been back for about a couple years. They signed Jade Cargill when the Endeavor deal became official. The first official signing of that deal was Jade Cargill, who was previously in the AEW. And then now they bring in Punk. And I said in the video that while I wasn't 100% sure that he was going to come back, Endeavor has no prior history with CM Punk. They have no prior history with him. So if they bring him back and he makes them money, can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, my bad. My computer acting dumb again. But if they wanted to bring him back and it was worth it, they were gonna bring him back, regardless of what Triple H thought, regardless of what Vince McMahon thought. They were gonna bring him back because at the end of the day, all they care about is money, obviously, and that's fine. So but the reason why it was still a surprise is because even though they were in CM Punk's hometown of Chicago, there was all these reports from the dirt sheets saying that he wasn't returning. A lot of people, there were a lot of fans that thought he was there were a lot of fans that thought that he was coming back, but a lot of the pundits and stuff like that, they were like, there's no chance, because they didn't hear anything about him signing a deal or anything like that with WWE. The only thing that we knew was that he had talked with them in the past. That's it.
Yeah.
So they have their event, right? And after the show's over, Triple H, I give Triple H props on this. What he likes to do is, I don't know if you noticed this, right? But anytime a show is about to go off the air, they'll have the little trademark copyright thing on the left screen showing that we're about to go off the air, right?
Okay.
He did it again here after the show, but then CM Punk music hits and everyone goes crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, I remember in the private chat that we were in, I had
mm,
asked you, hey, who we like, is this stuff true? Because like, because when you was talking about CM Punk, like you mentioned, several weeks ago, my
mhm.
question to you was, do you think he's going to come back, to WWE? And even you said that you weren't sure about it.
Yeah.
What really surprised me was that after all that had happened in the past with him in WWE, and all the beef that he was having, with people, and then with all the trouble that was caused, in AEW, I was saying to myself, like, okay, this guy has no future left. Like, well, where in the world is he going to go? Like, if you leave, both one of the biggest, wrestling companies in the country, and neither of them, want to anymore. Like, I said to myself, like, where is he going to go after this? So when he came back, I immediately went to you and asked you, like, is this stuff true? Like, is this stuff is legit?
Yeah.
And then once I saw the video, and then when I heard the ovation, how dude, people went nuts. Like,
Yeah.
they went nuts when he came, into the ramp. The thing is that I wanted to ask you though, because this is where I was confused. It seemed that people got pissed off. I don't know if that was part of the skit or what, but it seemed
Okay.
that some of the wrestlers were really ticked off when he came, to the arena. Like, one thing I want to know, like, was that all, part of the skit, or were they legitimately upset that he showed up?
It's hard to tell when it comes to Steph Rollins, right? And let me see if I can find. Let me see if I
Is it
think
is it isn't
I
he
could
champion right
show
now?
this. Yeah.
Is he champion right now?
Yeah. Yeah. He's WWE. I don't know what their titles are called anymore, but he is their top champion on Raw, right? And he's
Okay,
also from Chicago, I believe. I think yeah, he's also from Chicago.
okay.
But apparently he's not a fan of Punk, right? He has done interviews regarding that. But I also don't know if it's legit or not because, like I said, everyone, like everyone, didn't know that he was coming back. A lot of people thought
Right.
that Punk wasn't coming back. So we don't know really what is true and what's not.
Okay. Okay.
And that should be, and honestly, that's a good thing. That's a good thing because it makes it more intriguing. It makes it more intriguing. And if CM Punk is gonna come back, the first rivalry he should have is Seth Rollins.
The
And the
champion?
reason why, hmm
You don't think he should probably fight, like a AJ Styles first, or somebody else first?
well, I mean, no. I think you have plenty of time to do that. But like he'll have he'll have like a match or two before that. But at the end of the day, like his first program should be Seth Rollins.
Wow. Okay.
Should be because here's the thing when Cody Rhodes came back 2 years, I think it was 2 years ago when Cody Rhodes came back, right? His first challenger was was Seth Rollins. And the
Hmm.
reason why, and the story made sense, is that here you have a guy, and Seth Rollins, he has been the flag bearer for WWE, right? I think he's widely considered the best in ring performer, which I do believe he is. He's their best in ring performer.
Who is?
Seth Rollins.
Okay, you think he's the best one? Okay.
Yeah, in ring he is. I hate his character. I have no idea what his character is, but But in ring, he's the best that WWE has, in my opinion. Right? And he's also a guy who has gone to great lengths to defend the company from either from fans or other wrestlers or and whatnot. Like he has shown that he's the leader of he's the leader of that locker room. He's one of the leaders in that locker room. So this is the video of him going crazy at CM Punk.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, so yeah, so this is now here's my thing.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, personally, I think this is stage.
Oh, okay. You think it's staged? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that he likes CM Punk, but I think this reaction is a put on. Because I truth be told, if he wants to, if he wanted to go after CM Punk, he could have. Like he had Michael Cole holding him back. Like get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have gone after him if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like at the end of the day, as long as they can they don't have to like each other to work together. And he has said in the past that even though he's not a fan, he has no problems working with Punk or whatever, right? Which is something that the Elite, and I wanted to point this out too because Ruben mentioned them.
Okay.
Let me see, where's he at? Where's he at? See, where's he at? Like he mentioned the Elite. Like obviously he's preferably a fan of Punk, not a fan of the Elite. And the thing is that the backstage fight, that the first backstage fight he got into in AEW was against the Elite, like the Young Bucks as they refer to, right? And I detailed all of this in my video, right?
Yeah.
And they would not work with him. They would not work with Punk.
Wow.
They were not interested, even though the few could have made tons and tons of money. It could have been some great storytelling, but they were not interested in working with him.
Right.
And part of the reason why is because, frankly, at the end of the day, he was going to do something that would have gotten him fired anyway.
Oh
They
snap.
didn't they didn't trust him, and frankly, they just didn't want they didn't want nothing to do with him. And frankly, I don't blame them. Good look, I know, like I said, and I said in the video, I get it. Punk has a lot of fans, right? And while I'm not the biggest CM Punk fan, I can see why he's I can see why people love him, right? I can see why. But my thing is this, right? CM Punk publicly embarrassed the company,
Oh
and
yeah.
and
Yeah.
and not only did he do that, but he also disrespected, you know, those guys, the Elite. So why should in their mind they're like, why should we do anything with him? Because you can't trust him, and I know Punk doesn't trust the Elite. The Elite don't trust Punk, and the whole thing when it comes to professional wrestling is trust, because you're putting your body on the line. You're entrusting in someone else, with your body. And even when you have that trust, anything can happen. Bad things can still happen, even with that.
So
So if you're
you think you what you're saying is because they don't trust him, you believe that it could compromise their performance and they probably might sustain, might have some bodily injury because of the lack of trust that they have for each other.
yeah, it can definitely increase. Now again, you had wrestlers in
Hmm.
the past who worked together who did not like each other, but at the end of the day, they're professional. They're professional, and Seth Rollins is a professional. So yeah, I think this is a work. I do think this is a work.
Okay.
So
Now the question I have is if Like let's say he says no, I don't want to work with this guy. I don't want to work with him. Like does that mean they'll probably shift over to so you could have a feud with Roman Reigns or something? It's a silly question, but I'm just wondering.
That's a good question because the biggest match that they can do is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. That's the biggest match you can do.
Okay.
However, based on what happened last year, everyone assumes that the guy who's going to beat Roman Reigns is Cody Rhodes. Because WrestleMania last year, everyone expected Cody Rhodes to win the match against Roman Reigns, and he didn't.
Okay.
And a lot of people were upset with it. I didn't watch, so I wasn't upset, but I was dumbfounded, but I wasn't surprised. So, but regardless of that, Cody Rhodes is pencil marked to that spot. At least what we all think he is.
Okay.
Because there was a rumor about if The Rock comes back, he'll face Roman and whatnot. The Rock was never serious about coming back, especially now that the strike is over, the actor strike is over. Like he's not coming back. So the guy who's
Oh, so
here,
he's officially like done with WWE. Like he's never coming back anymore. That's what you're saying. You there? Hoovy?
no, he'll probably come back, but he was
Oh,
weeks or whatever, right? And and I know he's done interviews saying that me and Roman could happen and all the other crap, and it's like, bro, one, that's not happening. Because the last time you were in the ring, last time you had an actual match was against John Cena, right? And you got hurt earlier on in that match. That was like 10 years ago. And
oh
as great,
snap!
yeah, and as great as a shape as you are in physically, you're not in wrestling shape, and you're 10 years older. So yeah, it was never gonna happen. It was never
Wow,
gonna happen.
he got hurt immediately after right when the match started. That's crazy.
Yeah, earlier on in the match, he got hurt, and just because you're in just because you're in great shape doesn't mean you're in wrestling shape.
Yeah, he's just all he really does is is just lift weights. He doesn't do any type of. I guarantee you, the workout that he does now is not the same workout that he used to do to getting ready for a pay-per-view match or anything like that. So if that's the case, then I blame him for that. Like if he got hurt, now I didn't see the match, but if he got hurt like earlier on, and then I'm going to assume the rest of the match got compromised because of it.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't remember the match being anything good.
yeah,
I don't remember
and
the match being good.
if that's the case, that's on him because he should have known better. Like you lifting up weights and getting bigger, like that's nice. Getting bulky, that's nice. But if you're not doing the exact same workout and try to maintain the conditioning that you used to do when you were at your peak and at your prime at WWE, no, then yeah, that's on him. He should
But
he
I
should
mean,
he should have known better.
problem is that he was still doing movies. Like he's still doing all this stuff. He's traveling. He's doing all this stuff. Like truth be told, I really don't understand why he came back in the first place.
Hmm.
I don't understand. I think when he came back, there was a time where he was only releasing not great movies. You know what I mean? Let's be real. He had a downturn in his career at one point.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that coincides with it, but yeah, man, like you don't like he doesn't need to do that anymore. He doesn't need to do that anymore. But anyway, back on track. All right, so
Yeah.
the spot for Roman versus, because Roman is the top guy in the company. He's their biggest star. He's the one that they treat as their biggest star. And the guy earmarked for that spot is Cody Rhodes. And I don't think CM Punk is gonna go into that role, but he will absolutely be a if he doesn't get fired, he will absolutely main event WrestleMania the following year.
Now, before we continue, Cody Rhodes was that blonde, the guy with the blonde hair that he was in
Yeah,
that video clip.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one that's earmarked for that title. For that title. But if you're seeing CM Punk, you bring him in. The first guy he fused with is Seth Rollins,
Okay.
and they have a match at WrestleMania.
And you think CM Punk should win?
Oh, he's going to win.
Oh,
He's going to win.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
he's going to win because Seth Rollins, put over Cody Rhodes 3 straight times on pay-per-view. He's gonna do the same thing to CM Punk.
Hmm.
So yeah. So I mean, my overall thoughts on this is this, right? Look, the whole thing with happening in AEW, it is what it is, right? Now in WWE, now okay, let me also say this: Triple H did do a after show scrum, so he took questions from the media, and he mentioned their history because, like I said, their history is not good together. But he also said that like 10 years, it was 10 years ago. Like time change, people change, and at the end of the day, regardless of whether you like the guy or hate the guy, he gets people talking, and that's 100% true. That's 1000% true.
Yeah.
So this and even though and yeah, like this is his last chance. This is his last chance because I don't think he's ever gonna go back to AEW.
So it seems like from everything you're saying about Triple H and people not liking him. Now I don't know if this is a good comparison, but I'm trying to get like a good perspectives. You're making it. Maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but you're making it seem like he's like the Terrell Owens version in the WWE, where he just constantly causes trouble and can't get along with nobody. Is that like fair?
I wouldn't dismiss that comparison. Like you have to remember, wrestling in general is a very competitive business. Because everyone's trying to get a top spot. Everyone's trying to get, everyone's fighting for TV time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same thing goes with AEW. Is frankly, it's kind of worse than AEW because they have all this talent and they don't have enough TV time for everybody. But in WWE, like the competition is very hyper competitive, and like you said, you have a guy in CM Punk who has his he has his quirks. You know what I mean? He's not the easiest person to get along with, but there's a lot of people in the industry that do like him, and there's a lot of people in the industry that don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that's unique to him. But when you're the biggest star, especially in this day and age, yeah, man, that's gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way.
Well, like here's a thing that, and after this, we'll move on because I do want to address what you just said, and we talked about this before, a long time ago. I to me, the only way to fix that, especially when you have so much talent, and I know you're going to be against this, but
Hmm.
I think you need to bring back all the other titles again. Like I don't know if the Intercontinental title is still there, but I remember
Yeah,
they
but no,
oh,
they have too many titles. They have too many
like
titles as it is. Same thing with
because
AEW. AEW has way too many titles.
okay, but the thing is, when he okay, let me see if I could persuade you to at least this degree.
Hmm.
When we used to when we used to have the hardcore title, when we had the European title, and do they still have the USA title?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so they have the USA title, but they don't have the European or the hardcore title, right?
Oh no.
Okay, when we had all of of those different titles back in the day, to me, what that because look, not everybody could be a world champion. Like I get that, but to me, when you place a when you give somebody a European title or hardcore title, intercontinental title, you do in some degree you make that star in the come up, or at the very least have some sort of relevancy. And then you pretty much have no choice, but to put him on TV because they have to defend those titles eventually. So I think by bringing those titles back, it puts the company in a position to where you have to give them some type of camera time or screen time, so that they could defend those titles. Because if you want your stars to be relevant and you want them to be a huge attention draw, I think bringing those titles back could actually help them achieve that goal. But apparent from what you're saying is that having too many belts is a bad thing.
No, they already have too many belts as it is. And the thing is that you're not bringing CM Punk back just to give him an IC title or a US title. He's above that. He's above that. Like, truth be told, he's above that.
Hmm.
He's a guy who, if he's not, if he's not causing problems or whatever, even if he is causing problems, like he's one of your top stars. If I had to
Okay.
guess right now, since he came back, I think he's their top star.
Not now that he's officially back, he's the top guy.
Hmm. I think it's him and Roman is 1 and 2, and then I would put Cody Rhodes in that area. You know what? No, they have several top guys and girls too. Because I absolutely put Rhea Ripley up there as far as top talent, top stars that they have.
Okay.
So I would put Cody, I would put Roman, and I put Punk in that same area. And you have Randy Orton coming back. Like, they have a lot of top stars in that company. And remember, they're separated by two brands.
Okay.
They're separated by two brands,
We talk
right?
about the
So
NXT, right?
no. I
Oh,
didn't even mention NXT, but that's a third brand. Like, we put that off to the side.
okay.
To me, like, at the end of the day, he's like, adding more titles is not going to help. Like, because he's too big for that. At the end of the day, what you're gonna do, you're gonna have the feud with Rollins. He's gonna win, and then whatever happens after that, he'll do a couple of feuds. But ultimately, what they're going to do is that they're going to set up for the next year's WrestleMania, the one after this one,
Hmm.
is gonna be CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. That's where I see this going.
Against Roman Reigns.
Mhm. That's where I see it going.
Wow. And if that's the case, then I mean, I see where you're going at. Now again, I haven't watched wrestling, for such a long time, like a very long time, right? Like I think the last time I watched it is when you know when Brock Lesnar was there. Like it was a long time ago when I actually dedicated my time watching wrestling. Now, so I'm just talking as a layman right now. But to me, if what you're saying is true, like then I honestly believe I think it'll all be a waste, because I would actually prefer for them to use, because trust me, now that CM Punk is back and he had to use attention draw, like I'm gonna pay attention a little bit more. But I do think that he should probably fight other guys first before he
Oh no, he'll,
you
he'll
know
definitely do that. He'll definitely do that. But he'll do that. But the main guy he should feud with is Seth Rollins. They have time. They have time. They
oh,
might
they
even
have time.
do.
Okay.
Yeah, they have time. They'll probably even do their first match. No. Because if Rollins is still the champion, then Punk will likely do his first match at the Royal Rumble, and then either, I don't know if he'll win the Royal Rumble, because no, I don't.
Hmm.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, but they have time to set up Rollins versus CM Punk, but that should absolutely be the first feud. It just makes sense.
Okay.
But
And I guess the last thing I want to say, the reason why I believe it's good to have more titles, because it's like I said before, I think it will increase relevancy, to these stars. Like, for if I'm not mistaken, isn't Logan Paul still there? Isn't he still champion?
Yeah, yeah, he's the U.S. champion right now.
Okay, so with him, having that belt, don't you see how it created even more buzz, for him, just for the simple fact that he's a United States champion? Because
Yeah, but
because he's not going to he's people I think people will easily he'll be easily forgotten if he wasn't if he's just there, with no belt. Like, if he's just there just to be there, then it's like, what's the point?
no, he's one of the most popular people on the planet. Like, like, the belt's not making him popular. It's Logan Paul. Logan Paul is the reason why. That's the reason why you put the belt on him, because he's popular.
Well, you see, well, you see that. So yeah, I do believe that, you should reward guys if people are coming there, because I remember they did the same thing with John Cena, where he was a U.S. champion, back in the day.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
but
I,
yeah,
I,
but
I Go
yeah,
ahead.
but yeah, but the reason why because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to do that, and props to him. He put some prestige on the U.S. title for a little bit.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
So why are
But
you why are you why are you so against them having multiple titles?
no, they don't need more belts. They have enough. They have a world champion. They have a secondary champion,
Hmm.
and they have I know they have tag team belts. I think those go from place to place or whatever. I don't know. It's very complicated, but they don't need an extra belt to do that. They don't.
Okay. I would
Personally,
think at least, if I would at least think maybe bringing, the European title back, would be good. But, if you don't think so,
no,
I mean, I get you, because
no,
again.
no. Because, like, if the way I do it, this is just me personally. The way I would do it, you have a world title, you have a secondary title. If you want to add any belt that you add extra has to have different parameters. It has to be something that's unique to that belt.
Like a cruiserweight.
Like, yeah, but guys nowadays are smaller, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to do a cruiserweight title match. But it needs to be something that's different. It needs to be something different. You can add you have your world, a secondary, potentially a third gimmick belt, tag team titles, and you have women's, and then you add, if you have a women's belt, you do that.
And a, and a,
I would,
and a women's tag team, right?
if you have enough women.
Okay.
If you have enough women, yeah. But I don't think the solution is extra titles, because you have all these guys you have on there, the Rollins, the Rhodes, and those guys. Those guys are world title contenders. They're world title material. Putting a secondary, putting like a US belt is a waste of time on them. At least in my opinion.
That's interesting. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So I
All right.
mean,
So so then really all that means is that when we had the Intercontinental title and the European title, simultaneously, I guess even that, was too much for you. I mean, I would
yeah,
assume.
that's why they got rid of it.
Hmm. Okay.
Cause realistically, a European and a Intercontinental don't make no sense.
I think I see
Really,
where you're going with that.
yeah, I don't. It don't really make any sense in my opinion. But whatever. It is what it is. All right. So let me read some comments, and I'll give you my thoughts, and then we can move on. So let me see. Straight Air Society. Yeah, that's what I said. Endeavor owns USC, so I mean they had a short history. Yeah, but like Endeavor, they take a offhand approach to these things. All they really do is sign the checks. That's it. Yeah, like Seth called him a cancer. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Um. Joe, what's going on, Joe? He said they can make him do random matches, and the side story just gonna be his feud with Rollins on the side. Yeah, they can do that. Personally,
Well,
I
I mean,
would.
but I wouldn't. I wouldn't, agree, with that, because if he's, because Rollins is a big name, you know what I'm saying, and obviously, he's a title, he holds a title right now. So by him holding a title, and just to make it, like a, like, or like a side thing, like I don't think it would work, for those guys, especially if you were champion already. Like, I think doing something on the side, I don't think that would be a good idea. But that's my opinion.
Okay. So personally, I would agree with Hoovy if Seth wasn't champion. He shouldn't fight Punk immediately. Let a few months happen and let him take the strap off Rollins. Don't immediately give him the title. If they wait till WrestleMania to do their first match, then yeah, then that's fine. And you have tons of stuff you can do in between. But the first guy he fused with has to be Seth Rollins. It has to be.
Before before he fights Roland, it has to be Seth. It has to be Seth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, you can keep their distance with each other. You know what? You know what's funny? They can actually do it the same way they did with Punk and MJF. Because when Punk came in, the first guy everyone wanted him to wrestle was MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, right? Who is currently he's AEW's world champion,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of people wanted to see that match because they were both great talkers and all the other stuff, right? But they kept their distance for a bit. They kept their distance until it was time for them to do the feud. And once the feud happens, then it was great stuff, and yada yada yada. They have their matches and all that other stuff, right? The reason why I'm saying they have to feud immediately, that doesn't mean they have to wrestle immediately. But the reason why they have to feud immediately is because, in my opinion, the storyline is you have a guy in Seth Rollins who is one of your top wrestlers in the company. He's your top in-ring professional wrestler, and he's also a world champion there. Even though Reigns is the one that holds the most relevant belt,
Hmm.
but Rollins is a world champion, right? The thing is that you have a guy who left 9 years ago, and when he left, Rollins was there. Rollins was there, right? You have a guy who left 9 years ago, and since he left, he's been shitting on the company. He had all these things to say about the company, and then all of a sudden, now he comes back. And here you are as the world champion. You defend the company up and down. You're the flag bearer of the company. And this should piss you off, which I'm sure he does in real life, that this guy can just waltz back into the company. The story writes itself. Plus, they're both from the same area,
Yeah.
right? His story writes itself. And you see the reaction that he had on you saw the reaction that he had, right? Like all it just makes sense. It just makes the story writes itself. Now again, they don't have to wrestle right away, but the first feud that CM Punk has to be Seth Rollins. It has to be,
Wow. Okay.
because why have the reaction that you had if it wasn't for that? Like I said, if it was legit, even if it's legit, okay, and if he's interested in wrestling, if he's interested in wrestling Punk, which he said that he is, that's your feud. That's 100% your feud. Um, Especially if Roman isn't fighting full time. The point of the World Heavyweight Championship is to have a full time champion, and Punk is injury prone. I understand that, but at the end of the day, like the guy, the feud that he should have is Rollins. And like I said, they don't have to wrestle immediately. That's where it has to go.
Yeah.
That's where AEW went wrong. And I'll address that in a second. And I can admit I'm a huge Punk fan, but he's fragile. Yeah, because and I mentioned this in the video as well. When he first wanted, like the first match that he had, as the champion, when he was AEW champion, he broke his foot
Oh gosh.
doing a stage dive, right? He broke his foot, and then he comes back. He recovers from that. The first match, the first real match he had coming back, he tore his tricep. So if he has this new deal, and let's say if he has a new deal and he's working a full schedule, I don't know if his body can hold up.
Yeah, especially now
If
that he's older.
Yeah, if he's doing a part-time schedule, then yeah, then that can work. If we can do a part-time schedule, then that can work. But regarding about where AEW went wrong, where they went wrong was not nipping whatever issue he had with the elite in the bud in the first place. And that's 100% on Tony Khan. When this whole thing started, and remember, this is, and like I said, I mentioned this all in the video. Like, all this stuff stems from his time in WWE. And everything that happened everything that happened before his podcast with his former best friend Cole Cabana, all that stuff connects with each other. But the one thing that you can blame Tony Khan on is that when there was problems that arose, he should have nipped it in the bud,
Hmm.
but he didn't. But when it comes to like how he left the company, that's on Punk. I'm sorry, that's on CM Punk. Like I said, you don't like, you embarrass the company, you completely buried the company in front of the boss, and then you went and had a fight backstage, and then when you come back, they essentially give you your own show, and you still have to cause drama. That's on him. So now all the stuff you're talking about WWE and this and that and the cancer and all the other crap, and then you go and you crawl right back to them, because make no mistake about it, WWE don't need him.
Oh
They're
wow, that's okay. I did not expect that from you.
No, they don't need him.
Hmm.
They make more money now than they've ever made. They're doing good. The only thing is bringing Punk in is just gives them extra eyes and extra notoriety. That's it. But if he fucks up, if he pulls the same bullshit he did in WWE, they will be very quick to get rid of him.
Well, yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned, the whole extra eye stuff because it caught my attention. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like it definitely, caught my attention. That's why I wanted to know firsthand from you, was it, legit or not? But I don't know if I could fully agree with you. Now, financially, I see where you're going with this. But even you said that you still don't really watch WWE anymore. So clearly they're still
yeah,
doing something wrong.
and I'm still not. And this is where my opinion comes in. Like, again, is it cool? Is it a cool moment? Sure, but I don't. He now wrestles for a promotion that I don't watch. Like, I don't watch, and to me, like, there were matches that I wanted to see him in AEW that we're not going to see anymore for whatever reason. It is what it is. But I'm not. But like I said, I'm not going to watch. I'll probably watch if they do anything interesting. I'll watch, but I don't watch the product, so I can't. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
like, so I can't really be like, oh well, I'm excited that he's back in WB. I'm not. I'm not excited. I don't. I really don't care. Honestly, I don't care.
Mm.
But one, it's not like I'm a huge CM Punk fan. The reason why I was happy that he went to AEW because it would make AEW a bigger company, and it did and it did. But for whatever reason, like, it didn't work out, and that's fine. Like, and look, like I said in the video, at some point, I hope he can find a level of happiness when it comes to pro wrestling. I hope he can, because this is absolutely his last chance.
Mm.
And like I said, if it works out, good for him. If it don't, it is what it is. But I'm not like super excited about it, because like at the end that he goes to a promotion that I don't watch. So it's like, why should I be excited?
Real quick, why don't you watch anymore?
There's lots of reasons. Like I said, I think Triple H has done a better job, but I just don't have time. Whoa, Yeah, I don't have time to I don't really have time to watch. And truth be told, like I like watching Raw is hard to watch Raw. 3 hours of wrestling every single week. It's hard. It's hard.
They've been doing that for quite some time now, though.
Yeah, but even still, and trust me, like when I watched, there were a lot of bad Raws that I watched. A lot of
Okay,
bad Raws. And that's the, at some point it does fatigue. You get fatigued by it.
okay, because it's too long.
Yeah, it's too long.
Well, I mean, it could be too long, but I think they well, well, for one, it seems to be working because you made it. You said that they made more money than they ever had.
Hmm.
So I don't necessarily think, it's the product is going to suffer or be diluted. And secondly, and let's be real here, even though it's not a real sport, we watch 3 hour sporting events by default anyway. Whether it's football, basketball, or baseball, we watch long hours of sports, and especially when it comes to football, we watch multiple games that are over 2 hours long. So I'm this is obviously just speculation. I'm just going to assume that they feel that they could compete. I'm not I shouldn't say compete, but I think they could probably feel like they could use the exact same formula that sports league uses. If people could watch a football game, a basketball game for 3 hours, why can't they watch WWE for 3 hours? I mean, I'm assuming that's where their mindset is at. Because why?
Well, I
Why?
mean,
Go ahead.
that's why Raw is 3 hours. That's why Raw is 3 hours. But me personally, I can't watch. When it comes to the in ring, I'm not saying that the in ring action is bad. I just don't think it's at. I don't think the WWE in ring wrestling is not as. Personally, I don't think it's as good as you would get in any other promotion like AEW or New Japan or whatnot.
Okay,
It's a bit slower for me. It's a bit on the slow side for me. But
gotcha.
yeah, but to me, I just don't watch it. I just don't watch WWE. So I can't. So like I said, I can't justify. I can't fake being interested in him coming back when he's wrestling in the promotion that I don't really watch.
Yeah,
And also like he's not like again he's a great promo, right? He's a great promo, but he's in an environment that is more neutered. Because like I said, the product is PG, and not that it's a bad thing that it's PG, but like it's just not. It's too sanitized. It's too sanitized, and in a promotion like AEW, which is a lot less sanitized, is more. The content is more up my alley, more adult,
more mature. Yeah, okay, I
yeah,
got you.
more mature. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's why I don't really care all that much, even though it is a big deal. Like you said, you mentioned the views and all that stuff. He's a needle mover. People talk about him,
Hmm.
so it's a big get for them. But like I said before, he can't pull the same crap that he did in AEW. He's not gonna be able to pull the same crap in WWE. Like he's not. So let me read a couple more and then we can move on. Ruben said, as soon as Tony heard him say incompetent EVPs on that stage, he should have told his EVP, do not kick his door in. I personally watched the pre-show with Jack when Jack Perry made the glass comment. I even posted in the AEW chat during the pre-show, someone alert Khan that Punk was going to throw a temper tantrum. Yeah, you're right about that. But here's the thing: when it comes to the elite thing, um, man, like that should have never gotten to that point. It should have never gotten to that point. Like even before that, something should have stopped that. And yes, I blame CM Punk for airing it out publicly, but it should have never have gotten to that point in the first place.
Right.
And with the whole Jack Perry thing with the glass comment, like he was just being a dick, like he was. Like he made a comment. It is what it is. Like move the fuck on. You have a match. You had a match set up anyway. You had the opening match, and you willing to risk it over a comment about glass. Get over your fucking self. Like at that point, I think at that point, and there was like rumors and stuff like that he wasn't happy going into that show and stuff that's going on there. So he probably did that, reacted the way he did to get himself fired intentionally. I think he did that. I think he did that to get himself fired intentionally. So I can't take her for him on that. But yeah, the press conference, it should have never gotten to that point. That's where I blame Con. That's where I blame Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe said that he watches it at the bar.
I think he's talking about you. That you should probably try watching it at the bar, since you don't like it. You might like it, I guess, at the bar probably.
No, I'm not going to a bar to watch WWE. Fuck
And
no.
it's funny how he mentioned it, because when I used to work at Flanagan's, there would be a couple of TVs there that would actually show uh put WWE on display. So I've seen bars show professional wrestling
Oh
before.
yeah, I have to. But I'm not going to a bar to watch it. No, I'm good. But
Would you
anyway,
would you would you would you do what my brother what Critical Drop does, or where watch a pay-per-view at the movie theater?
if there was one nearby, yeah, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, okay. Jabana said no. Hoovy had it right. I said I do. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like if you're watching at the bar, I mean, that's actually common. Like I said, I've seen other bars or sports bars would actually show WWE on at the bar, or somewhere around the booth area. So I mean, I've seen that many times before. So that's cool.
Okay, so all right, so yeah, this is it for this topic. You can move on to Tom Brady.
Okay, so now that we're moving along to yeah, we did talk about football, but now we're going back to football again, and I'm gonna try to make this quick. I'm gonna try to make this really quick, but I'm really am happy. I mean, look, it's once again, it's sad that he's retired, but I'm actually really thrilled to hear him say, or pretty much critique and criticize the NFL, because I've been saying this over the past few years, and I actually said it last week, how I believe that the NFL has gone way too soft, and as the league continues to get more soft, we see how the sport to some degree could get compromised, because now we're seeing more penalties than, at least for me, at least in my experience. I could be as far as numbers goes, I could be wrong, but I believe that I have seen more penalties than I have ever been than ever been. I'm constantly seeing how the defense is seems to be afraid to tackle. They try to maneuver their body and these weird and unorthodox type of movement, so that way they don't hurt the guys, so that they don't get called. Like a lot of things that I have noticed over the years, to where I actually miss the hard hitting, pounding the quarterback. Like I actually miss seeing that. And I get that you want to keep the guy safe, but at the end of the day, this is football here. If all you care about is, oh, save this, save this, save this, then just play flag football. Just play two man touch if that's your true main concern about player safety. But Tom Brady has said something about it, and then I'm going to play this video, and I'm going to continue to share my commentary, and having you could tell me how you feel about about this audio. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, right here. So I'm gonna share. Right. Okay, so he was on the Stephen A. Smith show. At the end of the day, I still think Stephen A. Smith is a snake for what he did to Max. But at the end of the day, he went on Stephen A. Smith show, and Stephen A. is actually doing a very good job because this is something that he should have done years ago. Have his own show, and he has done mini shows in the past, but I don't know what happened to them. They got canceled, or whatever. But kudos to Stephen A. Smith to bring Tom Brady over, and he's going to let Tom Brady share his thoughts of how he feels about the NFL. So let's take a listen real quick, and then I'll continue with my commentary.
Tom Brady, the 7-time Super Bowl champion that is Tom Brady, the now retired Tom Brady, blessed us with his presence by coming on to this show. And while he was here, he had some very interesting things to say about the state of the National Football League. If you don't believe me, take a listen right here.
I think there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL. Yeah. I don't see the excellence that I saw in the past.
Why not?
And
why not?
I think the coaching isn't as good as it was. I don't think the
pause real quick.
As it was.
Go ahead.
Pause real quick. Now, here's the thing that I don't understand what he's saying. Right now, I'm not gonna sit there and say that everything he's saying is not true, because some of it is absolutely true. But he said that he doesn't see the excellence that he saw when he was in the league. Look at the division that he played in for 19 years. He played with 3 bum teams and benefited greatly because of it. So what was the excellence he's talking about? Okay, if he's just talking about Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger, that's fine. But I will argue we have more great quarterbacks now than we've had in a long time.
Well, I mean, when you now remember, well, here I'll say this: you and I had talked about how elite Tom Brady was and how Peyton Manning was, and Aaron Rodgers. With those were like the top tier guys as far as quarterback is concerned, and then after the second tier would be the Drew Brees, like you mentioned, Ben Roethlisberger, and then at the very least at the time. Russell Wilson, at least for me, that was a second tier. So I believe that although we have great quarterbacks, now the only guy right now that's like the cream of the crop or who could dominate the whole league is really just Patrick Mahomes. We had 3 quarterbacks back then that was able to do that. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers. We don't have a diverse of quarterbacks where you could definitively say, oh, this dude is just absolutely just killing the league, and he could read defenses, and he could just throw the ball at will, and staying in the pocket. Like, do you honestly believe that we have that type of quarterback now compared to with those 3 guys?
No. Well, no, but I think when it comes to top tier quarterbacks, I think we have more now than we had in a long time. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is the consensus number 1, right? But then after that, like you have Josh Allen, even though he's a turnover machine. You have Lamar Jackson. You have Joe Burrow, even though he's hurt. Who else would I put on there? I know there's other guys on there. Like I said, Jalen Hurts. I put Tua up there.
Oh, okay.
And then you have guys like Kirk. Look up Kirk Cousins' numbers. Kirk Cousins' numbers are very good for his career.
Yeah.
And then you have Jared Goff, who's very good. I mean, Russell Wilson, look at again, he might have tailed off a little bit, but you can't deny what he done this year. When you look at his numbers, he had a good year. So, to me, I just think him saying, "Oh, there's more mediocrity in the league," when you benefit from mediocrity, and look, Joe said it. Joe said it right here, and I don't know if this is going to be part of what he's saying, but look at what he said here. Rich, how the NFL gone too soft when he's the reason for the shit tons of rules. Because people like him. Also, I'm okay with people who not getting thrown away after they used up their body. Okay, but yeah, you look at some of the rules that came about. It's because of what happened to him. And I know he's complained about it some, but look, when he was getting all those roughing the passer penalties, he didn't complain about it. He just accepted it.
Right.
So yeah. So I mean, continue on.
Yeah, and I do want to say, I do agree with you that we've have more talented quarterbacks than before. I do agree with you there. But I don't think we have ever had, because look, when I think I had actually at least 2 times I had asked you if you had to choose between Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, or Peyton Manning. I've said to you countless times, I would be gladly give you the first pick. Why? Because if you pick Peyton Manning and I had Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady to choose from, I'm happy with my pick. When it comes to the quarterbacks that we have now, I guarantee you 100% of the time, most people are going to tune Patrick Mahomes without question. You can't say the same thing when it comes to when it pertains to Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers. You're gonna have a diverse of picks with those guys than the quarterbacks that we have now.
Right, that's fine, but you have a plethora of great quarterbacks in our league, and I would say I would say we have more great quarterbacks now than we've had in a long time. So if you can't pick Patrick Mahomes, then it's fine. Like as long as I put a good team around him, then I'm gonna pick a guy and he'll be successful. Cause look, like up until last week, the Kansas City offense was struggling even with Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
So it shows you that even the best quarterback, you need guys there. You need guys to not only get open, catch the ball. You still need it, even if you are the best. So we can continue.
Okay. All right. Let's continue on with the thing.
The rules have allowed a lot of bad habits to get into the actual performance of the game. Mm-hmm. So I just think the product, in my opinion, is less than what it's been. I think I look at a lot of players like Ray Lewis and Rodney Harrison and Ronnie Lott and guys that impacted the game in a certain way. And every hit they would have made would have been a penalty. You hear coaches complaining about their own player being tackled and not necessarily, why don't they talk to their player about how to protect himself? We used to work on the fundamentals of those things all the time. Now they're trying to be regulated all the time. Offensive players need to protect themselves.
I want to say that he's spot on when it comes to that. Everything is just constantly being regulated, which compromises the sport as a whole. When he mentioned all those guys that play defense like Ray Lewis, for example, I missed the fact that people had they feared that dude. They did not want to get hit by a Ray Lewis, for example. And when you see the hard tackling and the hard hits and the crazy sack hits that we've seen over the years, we don't see those anymore. Like it's really rare nowadays when you would see like a really hard, devastating hit in a football game. And I think that's very unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's unfortunate. And he is right. The players need to understand how to protect themselves. If you have to slide, if you have to go out of bounds quicker than you wanted to, then so be it. Go ahead and do it. I praise Tom Brady, even though it made him, a lot of people criticize and made him, look like a 60 when he always, curls like a ball when he's about to get sacked. But hey, look, that's how he was able to preserve his body and continue to play in the league because he continued to protect himself. Peyton Manning would do, the exact same thing. But we have all these quarterbacks to where they are afraid to protect themselves, and unfortunately, we had guys like our Griffin the third, who had to retire early. You have guys like Andrew Luck, who also retired early, and we talking about guys who were projected to be elite quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, when you have guys who do not know how to protect themselves, or they're not being coached, how to protect themselves, that should not be a punishment for the defense. That shouldn't be the defense's problem or their fault.
Let me push back on that real quick. I get what Tom Brady's saying, and I get what you're saying. The problem is that you, in a sport like this, you're at the end. How are you supposed to really protect yourself? Really, if you're getting tackled with, like, let's say with a horse collar tackle, like, how are you supposed to protect yourself from that? Or the tackle that we talked about last week with the hip drop, right? Like, how are you really supposed to protect yourself from that? This sport is dangerous at the end of the day. It is what it is. And the NFL, clearly, what they're doing is look, all of this is a response to the concussion lawsuit. Because I think Joe mentioned this in the second half of his paragraph here. That guys get thrown, like, they play for a couple years, they get their body used, and then they get thrown in the trash. Right? They get their body abused, and that's it.
Yeah, but don't forget the other half. That's why they made the rule that when they cut guys, they still have to pay them, still partial of the contract. Like they don't lose all their money, when they get cut.
Yeah, but they don't make all their money.
No, they don't. Go ahead.
The multiple Gazy contracts are signed by NFL players. Because there are some teams who will cut you, and they'll ask you to do a pay cut, right? They'll ask you to take a pay cut, and if you don't take a pay cut, they'll cut you. And a lot of times they don't make all their money back.
Yeah.
So to me, what the NFL is trying to do, and I think this is where we talked about this before. Like, Troy Aikman indirectly had the same criticisms with guys who are being taught bad habits because they have to be so worried about how to tackle somebody and how not to tackle somebody. And to me, like, at the end of the day, if they're so worried about safety, this is going to happen. This is bound to happen. Because at the end of the day, the NFL does not care about the integrity of the sport. They care about money. At the end of the day, they care about money.
Wait. Hold on. You said they don't care about the integrity of the sport?
Mm-hmm.
You said they don't. You said they don't care.
They don't care. They don't care.
Okay.
They legit don't care. Well, all the stuff that he's talking about guys like Ronnie Lott and Ray Lewis, and how they couldn't be as great as they were because they're not allowed to do any hits and stuff like that. He's 100% right. But the NFL don't care. They don't care.
I mean, well, the fact that he that he's right, the NFL should care, because at the end of the day, if your job is to make sure that everybody is safe, and make sure that everybody have, like, certain rules in place, like you said, the horse collar, which I still disagree with the whole hip thing. Like, to me, the closest thing to the horse collar is, like, the face mask. Like, that's, to me, that's like the cousin or the father or the brother when it comes to it, because in both cases, it's around the neck area, and when you're grabbing the face mask and then you're tugging it, to the left, you're tugging it to the right, you're tugging it downward, or you're tugging it up, upward, you could definitely seriously do a lot of damage when it comes to injuring a guy. So which is why some rules I'm completely okay with. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm okay with the net with the horse collar. I'm okay, with the face mask. Like those rules are fine because you could still make a successful um yeah, you can make a successful sufficient tackle without grabbing the upper body. You can do that. But when you're punishing guys because they land on you, when you're punishing guys, the defense, because of a hard hit, no, that's unacceptable, man. Like this is football, like you said. You have to expect that people are going to get hurt. It's expected. You're having 200, 300-pound guys running at full speed, smashing at each other. You're having guys pulling at each other. You're having guys knocking each other down. You're having guys playing rugby. Like it is what it is. Like that's what you should expect. And unfortunately, because they're two bodies banging each other, you should expect injuries to happen. But then that's when you have to ask for another guy to step up into their game. But don't compromise the sport or the entertainment of the sport, and trying to be freaking a policeman of the sport, where now the game is no longer fun to watch anymore. Like, no, I'm not with that, man. So I agree with Tom Brady. If you disagree, then that's fine. But I think
No,
Tom Brady is spot on.
I don't disagree with him. It's just that's just where the sport is headed. That's just where the sport's headed. Like the guy, like the NFL does not care about the integrity of the sport. They care about money. That's it. Like that's pretty much it, man. Like again, I agree with you. I think a lot of the like the landing on the player, that's one thing. Because the thing is that guys, one of the injuries that would happen is when a quarterback, like let's say if he releases the ball, whatever, and what a defensive player would do is drag him down and then they completely land on them and they'll break their collarbone, right? And I actually seen that happen to Garoppolo when I saw it happen to Garoppolo when he played the Dolphins. You know what I mean? So that it depends on that. But the main thing, and Joe said it right here again. Like at the end of the day, they're trying to keep the NFL safe for lawsuits and scrutiny. And now, I actually, when it comes to scrutiny, I don't even think they care about that. I think they mainly care about the lawsuit. That's why they put so much emphasis on concussions, because that lawsuit that they had was going to put a dent in their profits. Definitely. Okay. That's why all of this is happening. And then you look at the fact that they didn't like the fact that guys like Tom Brady was getting hurt when it comes to like stuff like low tackles and horse collars and all the other stuff. Like because at the end of the day, the main thing that makes money, and I said this last week, was fantasy football. Fantasy football, gambling is a huge reason why this stuff is happening. And nothing's going to change unless people stop watching. But the problem is that people are not going to stop watching.
Okay, let me continue on.
Mm-hmm.
It's not up to the defensive player to protect the offensive player. A defensive player needs to protect himself. I didn't throw the ball to certain areas because I was afraid players were going to get knocked out. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. Wow. I didn't throw it to the middle when I played Ray Lewis because you knock him out of the game, and I couldn't afford to lose a good player.
Really appreciate the signs that Tom Brady dropped on this show just yesterday.
Do you want me to continue on, or that's it?
We're good. Okay. Like I said, I understand what he's saying. Like I said, like the game quality has gone lower. There's no denying that. Holy crap! Hey, Philadelphia beat the Lakers 138-94.
That's crazy. Wow. Okay.
I do wonder if LeBron or AD played, because if they did play, that's gonna be a big deal. That's gonna be a big deal. But okay, but anyways, look, I get what they're saying, and I get why. And look, to Tom Brady's credit, he has mentioned stuff like this before when he was playing. But at the end of the day, like what they're doing is that this is all all of this is a byproduct of the concussion lawsuit, right? And like there's some tackles that I agree should be illegal. Like the word collar should be absolutely be illegal.
Okay, I agree.
That I agree with that. Like I know offensive players back in the day used to do like chip blocks or chop blocks. I'm glad they got rid of that too, because those are literally like ACLs. Those are ACL killers, the chop blocks. So I'm glad they got rid of that too. But when it comes to like all these tackles, like the reason why they're doing it is because like they don't want the lawsuits to happen, and they don't want their star players on the field.
Okay, that's fine, but okay, that's fine. But we all know we all know that when it comes to these certain tackles, like I said, you could make proper adjustments by not reaching for the helmet, not reaching for the horse collar. Now, the whole thing with the helmet to helmet, I could understand why they made that illegal. But then, even when you tackle the guy, let's say at his chest with your shoulder, they still get flagged for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things to where, especially if that's your team, and then now they get a first down, and then they win the game because of these stupid regulations that it just makes it much harder for the defense to do their job properly. It makes it harder, for them, and it's just not right. It compromises, the whole entire sport, because now half of the other side of the field, which is the defense, can't do their job. And it sucks. I don't think it should be that way, which is why I 100% agree with everything that Tom Brady has said. 100%.
Okay. Let me read some comments. Let's see. So I read that with Joe. Okay.
Ruben has said something.
Yeah. Let me get to him. He said that he agreed with Steve. As far as an era a few years back, there were people that would take a Manning, Rodgers, Roethlisberger, or Wilson over a Brady. Now, while Mahomes is looking rather human this season,
exactly,
that list of QBs on his level are way shorter.
Exactly, because and that's what I was trying to tell you. No one is not going to pick any other quarterback over Patrick Mahomes. You will have somebody pick Manning over Brady or Tom Brady over Rodgers. You will have that. You're not going to have that.
Understood, but that doesn't mean that the quality of quarterbacks is lower.
No, but we can't call these guys either in the same class or elite, because the only top tier quarterback there now is Patrick Mahomes. That's it.
I don't agree with that. He's the best of the best, but he's not the only elite quarterback in the league. I do not agree with that at all.
Well, hold on, but you don't agree with that, but you agree with me and Ruben that people will pick. Okay, all right. Let me ask you real quick. Who would you pick out of the three quarterbacks?
I pick Rodgers.
You pick Rodgers out of the three. Now,
yeah.
If this was a legit draft between me, you, okay, and since Ruben, mentioned it, if Ruben had picked Brady, I will be happy to pick Peyton Manning. And if I had the first pick, I'm picking Peyton Manning anyway. And you said you pick Rodgers, and again, that's not happening if Patrick Mahomes is on that list right now. I guarantee you, if you had to choose between Tua or Patrick Mahomes, you pick Patrick Mahomes. If you had to choose between Patrick Mahomes or Allen, you would pick Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
that's the point that me and Ruben is trying to tell you. Like, when it comes to
that's fine, but that doesn't mean that there doesn't mean that they don't have elite quarterbacks in the league now. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, I get it. Like you have the top three guys. Those three guys were arguably three of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game,
Absolutely.
and they came out
And
in one generation.
yeah, and they were so elite that every year, none of them could have been like the best in a consistent basis. Like there would be 1 year it's Peyton Manning, another year it's Aaron Rodgers, another year it's Tom Brady. Like it's always a constant flip flop between the three quarterbacks.
Okay, I understand that. I get it, but
Mhm.
that doesn't. But I do believe that we have more talent in the quarterback position now than we've had in a long time.
Hmm.
We do, because I mean, like look at the quarterback that I mentioned. Look at the quarterback I mentioned. Like you have Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
You have
Mhm.
Mahomes, then you have Allen, Jackson, Tua, Hurts, Cousins, Goff, Wilson. Like you have very good quarterbacks on the list. Yes, Mahomes is top tier. Like, I'm not denying that.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that the guys underneath him are scrubs. That's not the case at all. Now
Yeah.
I can't think of guys back in the day. I can't really think of guys outside of those three. But they had good quarterbacks back then too. But I feel like nowadays you have better quarterbacks in general. As long as those guys get protected, then you should be fine. You should be
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, yeah. I see. I see. Where you're going
Mhm.
with this, but when I'm looking at the list, he mentioned Peyton Manning, Rodgers, Roethlisberger, Wilson. Now he didn't mention Drew Brees. Like I'm going to mention Drew Brees and don't forget about what's his name that played for the Chargers.
Philip Rivers.
Yeah, Philip Rivers. Like I mean, when you to me that list right there, and I'm pretty sure there's still more, but that list right there is a nice group of guys of where you could say they may not be in the top tier. We already established who's the top tier guys are,
Mhm.
but look at that list who we just named just now. Like out of all, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes, all of those other guys that you have named, I'm not picking any of them over Drew Brees or Roethlisberger or Peyton Manning or
What?
Rodgers or Brady for that matter.
You're
I'm
not?
not picking.
You're not picking Lamar Jackson over. You're not picking Lamar Jackson over Drew Brees.
No, I'm picking Drew Brees.
No, I'm picking Lamar Jackson easy.
You picking Lamar Jackson?
Yeah.
Would you are you picking Tua over Drew Brees
Yeah.
over Roethlisberger?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dude, I'll take Josh Allen over Drew Brees. And it's not a
Oh
knock on
wow.
Drew Brees, but no, yeah. But I'm taking yeah, like Joe Burrow. I'm taking over Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I think I mean that's probably it. But like yeah, like outside of those three guys, like anybody else, like I'll take a guy from this from this generation over
Okay.
Drew Brees or Roethlisberger.
Or
You
Wilson
know,
or Rivers.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. All right, that's fair. Okay. All
yeah.
right.
I'll take those guys. But let me see. And yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
So yeah, we can move. Okay. All right, so yeah, Ruben said that I'm with Hoobie saying Mahomes is not the only elite quarterback.
Well, no. Maybe I used the wrong terminology. No, I'm not saying that the other guys that Hoovie 186 had mentioned, are not elite. Like Joe Burrow. If you wanted to mention, Herbert and Allen, yeah, you could say all those guys are elite. But I'm saying with Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Rodgers, like those guys were like cream of the crop, top tier quarterbacks. Now is only Patrick Mahomes. I'm not picking anybody in this football league now over Patrick Mahomes. That's not going to happen. That's not happening. But when it comes to those three guys, I'm happy with either one. I'm telling you, because so if Hoovie picks Rodgers and I had the opportunity to pick Manning or Tom Brady, I'm happy. But if he chooses Patrick Mahomes and I'm left with Tua or Herbert or Cousins, I'm pissed off. I want Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that those guys are not elite, but I'm saying I don't think they're top tier guys like Brady, Manning, and Rodgers. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. All right, so yeah, next one is you also.
All right. This one is the Josh Giddey.
No, it's Ubisoft.
Oh, Ubisoft. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. So on to gaming news. We do have one gaming topic that we like to talk about, and shout out to Charmaine, aka Ruben. He gave me this article on WhatsApp, and he wanted us to discuss it. And so I said to myself, okay, let me share this with Hoovy. Hoovy is okay with it, and so now we are going to talk about it. Now let me see if I can get the article real quick. Where you at? Where are you? Okay, right here. So I'm going to read the article, and then once again I'll share my commentary, and you guys let me know what your thoughts are. So Assassin's Creed players started having their games interrupted by full screen pop-up ads, but Ubisoft says it was a technical error and quickly patched it. I call BS on that. And the reason why I call BS on that is somebody actually literally said the same thing, well, almost the same thing of what my thought process was or what my rant was going to be. And I'll read it, but let's do a quick read of what happened here. So first reported by Rock Paper Shotgun, console players of older Assassin's Creed games like Origin, Odyssey, and Valhalla encountered Black Friday ad pop-ups of the latest entry, Assassin's Creed Mirage, while trying to access in-game menus. Ubisoft has since stated that the ads appeared due to a technical error and removed them. Videos demonstrating the issue show a full screen spread touting a 20% off Black Friday offer for Mirage with a prompt to dismiss the ad or buy now. The ads seem most likely to appear when players try to access the map screen of the affected games. Okay, so just got an in-game advertisement when I tried to go to the map. Xbox One. Okay. Our intention was to display a promotion for Assassin's Creed Mirage as part of the franchise news in the main menu of other Assassin's Creed games. This is the reason why I said I call BS on your crap. But let's continue. Ubisoft stated on Twitter, though the official Assassin's Creed account, unfortunately, this technical error caused the promotion to appear in one of our in-game menus instead. This isn't the first time that this happened to an Assassin's Creed game either. And in 2019, Kotaku reported on a similar situation where ads for Assassin's Creed Odyssey DLC kept popping up in between in-game menu screens. Ubisoft stated at the time, this was a glitch as well. I don't particularly love the way we see advertising on video game title screens, but plenty of developers and publishers do it. I launched Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous to screenshots its in-game news ticker, which usually points players to new DLC packs as an example, and was greeted by a full page spread for Our Cat upcoming Roach Trader. Pretty much the exact same experience as Ubisoft seems to have intended with these Assassin's Creed pop-ups. Now, this is I know some people may say, oh, good, Ubisoft did a good thing. They fixed it, they patched it, and that's good. Here's the thing that I had to say about this. Right now, to me, I think Ubisoft was just trying to test us. When I say test, when I mean us, I mean the gamers. I think what they were trying to do is see if they were going to get a reaction on the consumer, and if everybody had no problems with it. In my opinion, this is obviously just speculation. I don't have any evidence for this. I think they would have kept it. I think they absolutely would have kept it. And the reason why stuff like this is a big deal to me is because, look, people complain many times when it comes to these mobile games, for example, how there's just constant ads over and over and over, like every 5 minutes. And frankly, now I know you hate playing on mobile. I know you don't care for mobile, but the reason why I stopped playing was because of the ads, not because if the games were good, not because it's hard, to use a touchscreen, playing, a particular game. No, it was none of those reasons. The reason why I stopped playing video games on my phone or my tablet was because of the stupid ads. That's why. And to me, under no circumstance if you pay for a game, whether if you pay 50, 60, or 70, under no circumstance you should see any type of ads on your video game. I don't care if they say that, it was a glitch. And the reason why I think that you're lying, I think what this dude said was spot on, because this was my thought process was, right? So this guy says, not a technical error, because they were testing to see if anybody would have complained about it. If they didn't, Ubisoft would have kept the ads to continue to pop up. Since they got so many complaints, they lied, saying, "Oh, it was a technical error." Not an error, since there's a code to allow it to happen. Now, like I said before, I said this months ago when I was in school learning how to do Python. When you do all sorts of coding, like there is a way to, because what happened is you are telling the computer or the AI what to do. You pretty much put the code in, and they pretty much obey all of your instructions. There is absolutely no way that you could sit here and tell me that this was a glitch. I don't believe it for a second. And again, I personally believe if nobody complained, they would have kept that ad on that menu screen. They would have kept it there. But because of the complaints, because people were complaining about it, that's when they're starting to move it. And the reason why this is a big deal to me, I firmly do believe that the gaming industry, they are trying. It'll happen very subtly, but I think they are trying to lead into that direction of trying to have, little bit here and there. They're going to try to probably implement ads into your video games. I honestly believe that that's what they're trying to go to. Now, as far as this, am I happy that they fixed it? Yeah, I'm glad that they fixed it. But this should absolutely never happen to a game that you paid full price for. And even if it was a discounted game, you should not have to go through any type of ad. And even if it was just for a few seconds or so, you should not go through that as a gamer, especially when you pay full price. Now, what's your thoughts on this?
I agree with the guy who made the comment. I don't believe that this was a technical error. I don't believe it. I think they tried to test the waters on something. They got the backlash, and then that's when they decided to get rid of it. Like, for me, my thing is this, man. Like, we know what they're trying to do. I'm not surprised. Like, I'm not surprised this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you, the rest of the gaming industry, like, I guarantee you, there's not going to be end of it. There's not going to be the end of it. Like, at least in my opinion, it's not going to be the end of it. Now, I saw it circulating around social media. I ignored it because, like I said, I don't give a shit about Assassin's Creed. So anything Assassin's Creed related, I ignore.
Yeah.
But this is where they're heading. This is 100% where they're heading.
Okay.
And,
okay. You agree with me? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see if this is important. It's time like these. I finally recall that Warren Deep DLC for Dragon Age Origin all the way back in 2009. In a base game with no DLC installment, an annoying little man would eventually show up at your party camp with a big quest giver exclamation point over his head to tell you about the warden keep quest, and the only way to make him go away was to buy the That's oh man, that's crazy. But anyway, obviously this is how I think this is the that the ad that they showed. And now having I'm gonna say this one last thing and we'll move on. I'm telling you right now, all the times where I used to play mobile games on my phone or on my tablet, and then when you're in the middle of the game, right? And then let's say you beat the level, you get excited, you know how you feel like somewhat of adrenaline rush, when you're getting through a stage and whatnot. And then when the game automatically pauses on itself and then you see the ad, dude, it just ruins the moment, at least for me, in my experiences. I know you don't care.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, no, no. Let me say something, because the one thing that I did notice with the ad, with the video, with the ad, and isn't the video on don't isn't the video in this thing right here where you're at right now?
Yeah, this you're here. Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Assassin's Creed.
What about it?
The
What was the
video.
question?
The Assassin's Creed video. Do you
Oh,
have
the
it?
video. Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't have the actual video. No.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. 'Cause it was in the article that I read about it.
Oh,
But the
okay. No,
thing that
this is the article that Charmaine gave me. So I
yeah.
they gave him recognition. I used it. Go ahead.
Because here's the thing that I look for it. The thing that really bothered me about it, even though I didn't really care about, because like I said, I don't give a shit about Assassin's Creed or Ubisoft in general. But the ad popped up when you press pause. Like the ad popped up right when you press pause, and
Mm-hmm.
that's in game. That's an in game ad. That's in game.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a no in my opinion. When you're putting ads directly in the gameplay, now again, it's one thing if a game, like, I know a lot of people had a problem because when I opened up my Xbox, right, they showed an ad for Starfield right when my console boot up, right.
Okay.
I don't care about that. I don't care. I don't really care about that. That all I gotta do is just press a button and I'm done, right? Like NBA 2K has ads, not in game, but in but it's in the main menu, right?
Yeah.
But what they did here with this game, and I'm trying to get it up right now.
Okay.
But what they did here is when you're playing the game, let's say you press pause and then an ad pops up. Yeah, that to me, that's horse crap. That's horse crap. I will absolutely not tolerate that.
Exactly.
Okay, I got the video right now. I'm just waiting for it to load because my computer's acting slow.
Okay.
But yeah, that's different. Like when it comes to ads in general, that I can live without, but not during gameplay. Because like you said, I spent $60 on the reason why you see ads in the game in the cell phone game, because those games are free to play games.
Yeah, free to play games, right?
So that type of stuff they're going to show. So they have to put the ads in or whatnot. But when it comes, like, if it's a game that I pay $60 for, yeah, that's not happening. Yeah, so let me try to. Oh, this is a gift, so I don't think I can blow it up. But you see it right here.
Yeah.
You see it right here. That's unacceptable. If I'm pausing the game to look at a map and that's the first thing I see here, absolutely not. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, exactly. Because obviously you paused it and to look at the map to figure out, where you want to go, see where your destination is, and that just pops up into the screen. Yeah, I'll be ticked off. I'll be pissed off.
Yeah, I would too. So Yeah. So you know, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah. So I you know, yeah,
yeah. So I mean,
yeah. I think that's what it is.
yeah, I just wanted, to make it, just to make it quick, share my thoughts, real quick. Yeah, under no circumstance that should ever happen. I get what you're saying when it comes to cell phone games, mobile games, tablet games, whatever. I understand it because it's free, but man, I'm telling you right now, it is so annoying. Like it is like literally every 5 minutes, every 3 minutes, you see an ad, and it's just too much. Like can I at least have a couple of a few minutes of my time enjoying the game before another ad pops up? Like come on, man. But whatever. I see Joe's said something about
Yeah. Oh
me.
yeah. Let me read some comments. So Joe said, "I don't think so, Steve. I think it was a glitch because they did it on purpose on FIFA NBA games, so I can see them putting it on the wrong thing. Most games have an ad on the launch screen. True, but that we're not talking about launch screen here. We're talking about pause menu, and
Yeah,
that's unacceptable.
yeah, and remember, Jabonis. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to software engineering, because again, the only program I took at school was Python. Now, I don't know if you are aware of it. Maybe you probably know the basics of it too, but you know how you put the instructions when you're doing your codes to, like, I think if I'm remember correctly, like it's an if and elif, to where when you do a particular move, or when you do a particular instruction with your controllers, you put on the code when the, like, for example, the ad, when the ad is supposed to show up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for example, let's say you put on the code, I'm walking at the door, and you put on the code, the icon, put the action icon menu on the doorknob, so that way the character can open the door, right? So you on the code, you literally telling the game what to do while you are moving or maneuvering, your character. So as soon as the game pauses, and then the ad pops up, onto the screen, I I don't know. I find that very hard to believe, to make that a mistake. I just have a hard time believing that. Now look, you could be right. Maybe it was. But I have a hard time believing, though, because how could you make that mistake? Like, how could you tell in code that the ad pops up as soon as you pause the game? Like, I don't know, man. I find that very, very suspicious. Very, very suspicious. But Malta says, "Damn, bro, I thought you only watch ads for free to play games." No, go ahead.
No, I mean you have more experience than I do. But if you buy a game on your cell phone, you shouldn't have ads on it. At least not pop up ads.
No, not at all. No.
So,
He says,
yeah.
F the
So,
Matrix, yeah.
all right.
Okay.
On that note, we can move on.
All right, yeah. So I'm done. Yeah, so yeah, shame on you, Ubisoft. Kudos to you for fixing it, but yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, the next three topics are all kind of like basketball related. Very, very, very drama filled stuff. No, well, this one I find funny. This one I find funny. Do you have the Greg Popovich video?
Yeah.
Yeah, you show
Yeah.
that real
I
quick.
I don't necessarily have to read the article, because I think we
No,
all,
no.
yeah, we don't have to
We
read
know
the
what's up.
article. Yeah.
We know what's up.
So yeah. So here
So
it is. So let me
I'll say that.
go ahead, go
I'll
ahead.
say that. So probably like late last week, the Clippers were playing the Spurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during the game, pretty much in the middle of Kawhi Leonard shooting free throws, the crowd booing him obviously because of how he left. And Craig Popovich decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go in the PA announcer and tell them to stop booing. Now I don't know why he decided to do this, and I don't understand. I don't understand the concept of it, but it was funny, and not only was it funny because of what he did, it was funny because it didn't work. Like people still kept booing.
Yeah.
So,
So let me go ahead and play it. I don't. Yeah, again, I don't. There's really no reason for me to read this. Because everything it says in this article, he's pretty much going to do in the video because he'll probably just grab the public address mic, like you said, Hoovie, with Leonard at the line, second quarter, and implore the fans at Frost Bank Center to stop booing. Okay, so let's watch this real quick.
Excuse me for a second.
Yeah, you can hear that, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Excuse me for a second.
Pops on the mic.
Stop all the booing. Let these guys play. It's got no class. It's not who we are. Knock off the booing. Excuse me for a second.
Pops on the mic.
Stop all the booing. Let these guys play. It's got no class. It's not who we are. Knock off the booing.
I'm telling the.
You know what the reason why okay. When you mention how it didn't work, I find it very funny how they start booing at Kawhi Leonard, but then they start booing at you. You have Spurs fans booing at their own coach. They're booing at you now because you are trying to tell paying customers what to do with Popovich. That's what you did. Let me see if there's anything else.
Fans to lay off Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's it. There was something else I wanted to play. Do you have any thoughts before?
No, I just find the thing to be funny. Like I just don't understand. I don't understand why he would ask them to stop booing.
Okay,
like,
okay. Here's the whole thing. Let me stop this.
Mm-hmm.
I found the whole thing. Dude, okay. They were booing this dude for a long time. Okay, here it is.
Okay, let me share.
Yeah, let me know when you have it. When you see it. Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of a delay here. Or when you have a game like this where a team opens up 3 for 21, given the schedule that's upcoming, would like to put this far out of reach as soon as you can. I state the obvious.
Now, I'm pretty sure those of you who are curious, I'm pretty sure those of you who watch basketball probably already know what happened. But Kawhi Leonard wanted to leave, San Antonio, and I think he blamed the medical staff about his injury, him wanting to leave. You had his own teammates, calling him out on it. You had rumors saying that, the only reason why Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili had called him out is because Greg Popovich, allowed him to do it. So it was a huge controversy, huge drama of Kawhi Leonard wanting to leave, the Spurs. Now, obviously, the fans do not like Kawhi because they felt betrayed. Rightfully so, because you won a championship with them. They treated you right. And, you wanted to have things on your own terms. So, of course, fans are not going to like what you did. And that is something that everybody needs to accept. And that includes Popovich. But I want to let me play this, one last time. And then there's two things I wanted to address.
Do give some credit to Greg Popovich's Spurs who have bounced back.
Excuse me for a second. Can we stop all the booing?
Oh, come on, man. Okay.
It's not who we are. Knock off the booing.
I don't know how many. I think that's the second time that I've ever seen a coach take a microphone. Doc Rivers did it.
As you can see, they're still booing. I think they're booing at both of them now.
Back in 2000, I believe at 18, 19, they booed Kawhi Leonard. They have not listened to Greg Popovich. They'll be running laps tomorrow. That's for sure. The fan.
I don't know who that commentator was, but that had me laughing. Like they're gonna be running laps, for booing. Give me 50 push-ups, for booing on Kawhi Leonard. But anyway, have enough Hoopy 186. I need to play one more video to address my point. And that point is the hypocrisy on Greg Popovich. Yes, I'm using that word, hypocrisy. What do I mean? What do I mean by that? This guy, now look, I have so much respect for Greg. I do. But this guy want to talk about, oh, this is not who we are, or we need to have class, or we need to have, respect, for the players and this and that. And I actually agree with one of the things that Stephen A. Smith had said, and I'm going to reiterate it here. You being a hypocrite right now, because over all the years, you showed no type of class, no type of respect. You're not being civil. You being disrespectful to the media. Every single time when somebody want to ask you a question, you give these one-word answers like how Bill Belichick always liked to do. You always disregard. You're always being so dismissive to the media, and yet now you're telling fans who are paying customers, that they need to be more respectful. They need to have class. That's not who we are. No, that's who you are. That's who you are. You are constantly disrespecting the media every single time. Every single time. So now that Kawhi Leonard is getting the exact same treatment, you want to take upon yourself, take the mic, and telling the fans this is not who we are, despite the fact that you do it all the time to the media. So what am I talking about here? So let me play this. Do you have anything to say before I play the video?
No, you can continue.
Okay. All right. So, right. Where are you? Hang on a second. Let me see if I have it.
All right, while you look, let me read a couple comments. Popovich is from Malta. Popovich definitely the main reason the Spurs won 5 chips. Pop, Duncan, and Robinson. It's because of Kawhi uncle that Kawhi left. Yeah, there was a lot of shit going on with that. He refused to play for them. He pretended to be injured. What a bitch move. I disagree with that. He wasn't pretending. If you look at the injury history that he has, that he wasn't pretending.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was that they disagreed on his diagnosis. You had a couple players who questioned the severity of the injury, but he wasn't pretending. As you can see now with his injury history, that he wasn't pretending. Yeah, you said that. I agree. Popovich rarely ever shows class to the media.
Exactly.
Back in the day, he was really bad. Especially when it comes to like Doris Burke and stuff like that. Yeah, I would 100% agree. I feel like he's toned that down a little bit as he got older.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but I'll address more. I'll address that more in a second. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is now. The reason why I'm playing this clip, because he wanted to give an explanation, wanted to clarify why he went to the fans and why he told them to stop booing. And this was his explanation. And I think, it was pretty funny how he was going, with the media. So let's see what's going on here.
You don't poke the bear. You told the fans that it was. I just told you why I did it. What? Can you clarify that though? I spoke English. I just told you.
Anybody that knows anything about sports.
Dude. Bro, he said I spoke English. I wasn't speaking Chinese. I wasn't speaking Japanese. I wasn't speaking Portuguese. I was speaking English. You know exactly what I'm trying to say. But I think, although it was funny, this proves my point. Like every single time when he goes to the media, he always gives the cameraman, the reporters, all a hard time when it comes to answering questions. Every single time. And look, I could understand these one-word answers or being dismissive, being so aloof. I could understand you doing that if they were not asking you basketball questions. But these are basketball questions as it pertains to Kawhi Leonard and as it pertains to the fans. It was about basketball. So because it was about basketball, I think you should act a little more civil and be clear of what you mean when they want you to be more thorough, or if they ask you to elaborate a little bit more. But no, you want to go and say, "Oh, I spoke English," but it was funny. But it continues to prove my point. Like, I want to listen. I want to listen to that again.
Can you clarify that though?
You see, he asked you to clarify. He asked you to clarify. Can you be more direct and give more of an explanation of what you mean by "don't poke the bear"? But no, he didn't want to do that.
Clarify that though.
I spoke English. I just told you. Anybody that knows anything about sports knows you don't poke the bear. That's my answer.
Okay.
I don't buy that answer.
Well, go ahead.
I don't buy that answer.
Okay.
What do you like about the way you guys competed tonight?
I was proud of them. You know, we had a bad first quarter shooting wise, obviously, but they only scored 26 in that quarter, so that really wasn't a bad quarter except for our shooting. But the next three quarters, we outscored them 92 to 87 the last three quarters. I know that's not a win, but their competitiveness was off the charts, and the execution, keeps getting better.
No, he's gonna do it again. He's gonna do it again. I'm trying to. Okay. I don't want to pass it
for a team.
Okay. It's only 1 minute, so that's why I didn't want to. Like, I'm trying to fast forward.
Play together. I was proud of them tonight. I thought they did a good job.
Pop, just one more on the what you said to the fans. Was that something?
That's all I need to say. I don't know how you want me to. You want me to make up a different answer?
No, I'm asking you.
I gave you the answer. I gave the answer.
I'm going to ask.
There's no other questions that need to be asked.
Bro, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Greg, look, he's hilarious, and there's only two coaches that I always want to watch when it comes to press conferences, post conference, whatever you call it. Greg Popovich and Bill Belichick. It's at the end of the day, it's although it's people will say, well, they don't have any class. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Well, when they are constantly giving the media, such a hard time. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is funny to watch, but although it's funny, it still proves the point that you guys really show no type of any respect or courtesy, to the media. You don't.
For an answer?
No, I'm asking you.
I gave you the answer. I gave the answer.
I'm going to ask.
There's no other questions that need to be asked. Anybody else?
You didn't want Kawhi to be motivated by the booing. Is that what you mean?
You know exactly what I mean. You don't poke the bear.
Okay. All right, see, that's where I wanted to get to, because I was afraid I was going to pass forward. Mm-hmm. So that's what I wanted to get to. Go ahead, Havino. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't buy the whole poke the bear bull crap. I think he's lying through his teeth. I do think he's lying through his teeth. I think what happened is that he felt bad for Kawhi getting booed, even though I don't understand why. because Kawhi Leonard wasn't affected by it. Like, I mean, he looked like he was just there. Like, Kawhi Leonard just looks like he's just there. Like, nothing phases him. He's just there.
Yeah.
There, does his job. He goes home. That's it. Right? Like, so I think what it was is that he was trying to. I feel like in a lot of ways he was just trying to I guess show some type of humility to Kawhi Leonard. I think that's what he's trying to do.
Like show sympathy, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show like sympathy towards him. And it kind of backfired. And his excuses is nonsense. Like his excuse is nonsense. Like I don't buy that for a second.
Yeah. I don't buy it either. And over all the years, whether if the guy was a former teammate of yours or not, you know that the fans have every right to boo you. You know that the fans have every right to say that you suck, you're no good, you're shooting an air ball, oh, you're trash. Like, you know that fans have every right to do that because they're the paying customer. But that's all that besides the point. I'll get back to the whole paying customers part. Here's the main thing of why this frustrates me to the core. Like I said, I respect Gregg Popovich. He is a very successful coach and all the other good stuff. 5 championships, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have a good, successful future, with Victor. But here's the thing. Besides the whole paying customer part, dude, I've had up to here with telling people what to do and all this cancel culture stuff. Now, I know you probably don't like hearing me, mentioning cancel culture, but we've already seen it over the years of when we saw LeBron James kicking out fans, when we saw was it Russell? No, it wasn't Russell Westbrook. I forgot. I think it was Chris Paul. I think when Chris Paul was getting into it, with a fan, that person get kicks out. Like, look, we all this stuff.
Wait. The Chris Paul thing was that there was a fan that was talking trash to his family.
Wait, I thought he was talking trash to him first, right?
No, it was to his family.
It was directly to it, like the fan went directly to the family.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I think you're right. Okay. So if he was, talking trash into the family, then okay. I guess yeah. I guess you're right. I was gonna say, well, the fan can say whatever he wants. He can say whatever he wants. But I guess you're right, because we had a similar topic about this before. But okay. But I mentioned the whole thing, with LeBron. And when you and I did a video about that, we didn't find any sort of evidence that the fans had said anything so egregious to LeBron or to his kids or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So dude, I do not like the fact that fans are being criticized, or now we have Gregg Popovich telling fans that they should stop booing. Dude, I am tired of this cancel culture stuff. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it in seeing in sports. I'm tired of it no. But I'm talking about okay. He
telling people what to do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm tired of you telling the paying customer people it's because of them why your job even exists. If people stop paying, if people stop watching, you don't have a coaching job anymore. You don't have a league anymore, right? And for the simple fact that Kawhi Leonard used to play for them and he wanted out, yes, they are going to boo you. We've seen that happen with Ben Simmons. We've seen that happen with Kevin Durant when he left OKC to Golden State. And dude, we've seen that happen to Kobe Bryant when he wanted to be traded. When he asked for a trade, the fans booed him. So we've seen this happen to elite players all the time. You think Kawhi Leonard is going to get special treatment? Hell no. No. If they felt betrayed, yes, they have every right to boo because it's because of them why you have a job, and it's because of them why you continue to work. It's because of them why the league exists. And because the league exists, they should be able to do whatever that they want, say whatever that they want, as long as it's not directly towards the family member, like you mentioned with Chris Paul, and as long as it's not something like very egregious or racist or anything like that. As if you say you suck, you're trash, you're booing, all that is fair game. It's part of something that has been invited in sports since sports even existed, because that's what competition is about. We enjoy the trash talk when players are talking towards each other. We enjoy all the crazy booing and all the cheering when it comes to it. It creates a better atmosphere for the game. And so to me, I think that Greg Popovich was completely out of line. And again, he does the exact same thing towards the media. So you addressing the fans makes you look like a hypocrite. It does. And that's my final take.
Okay. Before I read the comments, let me put my 2 cents in. But yeah, I just wanted the whole thing to be funny. I just find it funny. Now regarding his, and I forgot to mention this, regarding his relationship with the media, right? And if it's the same as the stuff that he was talking about when like with the Kawhi Leonard thing, I don't know if they're the same. I've heard Stephen A. Smith say this. I've heard Brian Whitehorse say it. I've heard everyone say the same thing, bringing up his past when it comes to how he treats people, how he treats the media, right? When it comes to questions and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
And to me, I don't think they're the same. Now again,
Really?
I don't think they're the same. Again, I have no idea why he would just go in and just tell them, "Oh, please stop booing." Like, I don't understand why he would do that. Maybe as he gets older, and Walter said something funny here. Let me shout him out on this. I thought it was funny. Let's see, where is it at? Tone it down. Tone that down a bit as he got older. Bro's been old since he entered the league, and I have seen old pictures of Greg Popovich, and he does look old. I for the longest time, he's always had, as long as I've seen him, he's always had gray hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know if it's just a change in his personality. I don't know what the issue is, right? But I have, yes, he's surly to the media. I've seen that. But I've also seen him do nice things. Like, you can bring up the bad, but you can also bring up the good too. And I do think Popovich is a good dude, even though he has his issues with the media. Right? To me, I just don't know if I just don't feel like him telling fans to stop booing somebody and how he treats the media. I don't see the correlation.
But he told them, "Oh, this is not who we are. We have to show respect." But he doesn't do that for the media.
No, in general, no, I don't know. I don't like. Yeah and no, because like you said, he had his moments, but he's also been nice to the media. Also, he hasn't been completely shit to them.
Okay,
you know what I mean.
That makes it better.
Yeah, okay, fair. But to me, I just don't think they're the same. Now again, I'm not saying I'm for or against. Like, as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're not going over the line, you can boo whoever you want to boo. Especially if it's a player that turned his back on the organization, regardless of what the reason is. At the end of the day, he turned his back on the organization.
Yes.
I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised that they're still booing him. Damn, it's been like, what, 5 years?
Dang, it's really been that long since he won that championship with Toronto?
It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, bro. Dang, 5 years. Oh yeah,
It's been a long. It has been a long time, and they're still booing him. That's crazy. I was surprised by that, but ultimately, I just find the whole thing to be funny. 'Cause I just don't understand why he would just. I don't know why he would just go up randomly and just say that. I just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. But oh,
Yeah, I think the whole poke the bear, is a cop out because
yeah, 100% a cop out.
yeah, he's just trying to use it as a scapegoat. I think part of him knows that he's wrong, for what he did. Booing and calling people that they're trash or saying that you suck has always been part of basketball culture. Has always been. And you want to, take upon yourself to tell him to stop now after all this time? I don't buy it.
No. Well, let's read some comments. All right, so let me see. Wemby's too scrawny. He's gonna get demolished by Embiid. January 22nd.
I'm actually happy that you mentioned that because as much as I think Victor is going to be, I mean, he just got into the league, but I do believe I hope that he doesn't take the Kevin Durant route and remain skinny and scrawny in his whole entire career. I expect him to put some muscle on because now look, although you're right and it's a fact, I've seen people push him around because regardless of the lengthy he is, I've seen people push him around. I've seen it, but at the end of the day, though, he just got into the league, and I think he is going to put on weight, later in his career, similar to what Giannis and Steph Curry did. But yeah, I think we'll give him time. But you're right. I think Embiid is going to demolish him. I also think Giannis and Joker, I think they're all going to do the exact same thing until he put on some weight. Yeah. Hopefully, Hoovy agrees.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously gonna need to put on weight, but there's only so much weight that a guy like him can put on. But,
yeah, I guess.
But also you have to take into account you have a guy in Joel Embiid who's arguably one of the top 3-4 players in the world. So if he's gonna dominate Wembanyama, it's to be expected because he's one of the best players in the world, and Wembanyama is a rookie.
Correct.
So yeah. So Moto also said, "I wish interviewers would give this man the same amount of smart mouth back talk that he gives them," and I actually do agree with that.
You're on the roll, Moto. I agree with that too. Who win the 6? Yeah, I agree with that too. That there has to have some type of pushback. If you're going to be disrespectful to them, then all bets are off. All bets are off.
Yeah, I 100%. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Let me see. Yeah, LeBron can kick people out. What about when supposedly Westbrook got called the N-word by Nuggets fans? I don't know if that's true or not. Though I wouldn't know. That's why you shouldn't call people racial slurs. I know. I remember there was one time when Westbrook. Where a fan gave him the double bird.
I remember that one too.
Yeah, he got kicked out. Yeah, he got kicked out.
Yeah.
I remember there was one time where a fan threw popcorn at him.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So and there was, I know, he's had a couple of run-ins with fans before. And to me, if fans are, depending on what they do, if they get unruly like that, then yeah, that's an automatic ejection and complete banning, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's where I would say yes, you definitely cross the line. When you start throwing popcorn or you start throwing drinks at a guy, stick your middle finger right in front of the guy's face, stuff like that is just uncalled for. Like, come on, we already inviting you that you could say certain things, boo, say that he sucks, all that other stuff, but don't cross the line, man. Like, come on, don't do that.
Okay. And all right. So let me address. Yeah, the double middle finger was completely unnecessary, and I will address the last. Let me address the other thing that you said, Malta. But yeah, because the next topic is my topic, so I gotta make sure I get this thing. Make sure I get it going. But let me address their thing. One second. Yeah, you have anything else to say, Steve?
No, as far as grip coverage, no. You know, I mean, like I said, he's, you know, he is a good guy, but I do think it's the same. I know you think you don't, but I think it's the same, and I think it's a hypocrisy on his part. At the end of the day, they're the paying customer. Leave them alone. Let them boo. Let them say he suck as much as they want. They're the paying customer. So yeah. Okay. And as far as your question, Molten, no, I didn't see that, but I will, if you don't mind, put it on the Discord, and I will definitely take a look if you don't mind.
Okay. So
you don't watch his stuff at all?
No.
That's weird, because there are times I remember you had mentioned something about him and Candace Owens on Twitter before.
Are you sure we're talking about the same guy?
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, the same guy. Yeah.
No. I feel like all these guys look alike.
Okay.
Okay. So this story, I was like, okay, so obviously a while back we talked about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, right? And because the reason why we talked about it was because their basketball game, right, the NCAA championship game, drew the highest ratings for a women's basketball game, I think in like 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And as of right now, you are looking at the top two and NIL earners, and NIL is name, image, and likeness. As far as like money, like these companies giving them money to sponsor these kids, right? Since now, college kids can now earn a living now, right? Like you see Caitlin Clark in the commercials, and the State Farm commercials, and Angel Reese, her popularity has skyrocketed over the past year, and so I'm figuring out. So what's going on here? So I see the story, and I think I saw this on this is on Stephen A's no. I know Stephen A talked about it, but then there was a report that was going on regarding Angel Reese and her and members of her family. So let me show you. You guys should be able to hear this. Let's go about what is actually going on, because right now she's not with the team right now.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me pause that. Okay. So she's not with the team right now, and the reason why she's not with the team has not been explained. It has not been explained, because the coach is not going to go into it, and no one really knows, right? And the problem is that this altercation that happened on social media might give us a glimpse as to why. So let's go on. Let's go on with this. This is from Pink Book.
Everybody wanted to know what happened, but in their press conference, Coach Moki declined to provide details.
Apologize for that.
Apparently, though, LSU lost to the Colorado Buffaloes in their season opener, but they've won every game they played since.
You can hear this, right?
Yeah, I can hear it, and she sounds familiar. Who is she?
No,
doing that's commentating. She sounds familiar. I think I've heard from her before. I can't remember her name. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right now, at the time of this video, they're record 5-1. You have a lot of headlines about Reese and her coach, Coach Mulkey, when they played Kent State, Angel Reese was benched the second half of the game, but she wasn't the only one. One of their guards, she was also benched. Everybody wanted to know what happened, but in their press conference, Coach Mulkey declined to provide details. Apparently, though, the benching exposed infighting because the day after Angel was benched, her mom went on social media, then Flage's mom responded to her. It was just way too much. So Angel's mom, she wrote this first. She said, "Folks, please don't send me long text messages with a bunch of grammatical errors. It gives me a headache. How do I know you said what you said if I can't understand what you're saying?" Miss Baltimore.
Yeah. So this is what her mom, Angel Reese's mom, put on social media, right? Now, let's
out here throwing the subliminals. No one knew who she was talking about or what until Flage's mama responded, "We'll call her Miss Savannah." Flage's mom said,
"Yeah." So she knew who she was. So she was throwing subliminal shots, and then Flo. I don't know her name, but the mother who she was referring to responded. And her response is pretty crazy.
"You definitely know about grammar errors when your daughter got a 2.0 or less GPA. And in fact, when writing your smart message, you didn't capitalize, nor did you use any periods. Stop being petty, fake, and hateful, and take responsibility for you and your daughter's actions. You're just as responsible. You raised her that way. Nobody give a D who you think you are since you came off another's brand. Just like God gave it to you, he will take right away. Always stay humble and never forget who made you and where you came from."
Yeah. Now, we don't know what's going on. But the one thing that we know is that if your grades are not up to par, you're not going to play. That's why you have situations where you have certain players back in the day, like a Derrick Rose, who let other people do their work for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if what FloJo's mother is saying is correct, that her GPA is low, then yeah, that's gonna be a problem, and that could explain why she hasn't been playing. And now, clearly, there's a lot more going on behind the scene. Now, mind you, this is the team that actually won the championship. They actually won the championship, and you see this drama going on.
Yeah.
That to me, that's crazy. Let me where's my thing at? Okay. I think there was more. Hold on.
I actually agree with that message towards the end. I just don't like this back and forth and her exposing Angel's GPA. Now, if that's true, it is disturbing. She's supposed to be a star athlete, and her GPA is supposed to be at a certain level to play.
LSU women's basketball has been a hot topic on social media today in what seems to be a back and forth between the athletes' parents.
Yeah, FY, this is Tiger LSU. This is Tiger TV. That's their school. That's how you have schools that do like news and stuff like
Yeah.
They used to, yeah. This is their version of an LSU. Now imagine if we were in high school, right? And I'm sure they wouldn't do it in high school, but just imagine if we were in high school right now, and the morning announcements had to cover drama between players on a football team or basketball team or whatever, and it's playing all throughout the school. How crazy would that sound?
Yeah.
Oof.
Parents. While information is still unclear, speculation started last night after Flau'jae Johnson's mom directed an Instagram response to Angel Reese's mom on Instagram saying, in part, "You definitely know about grammar errors when your daughter got a 2.0 or less GPA."
So she's just repeating what the report says.
Yeah.
And okay. I think there's still more to it.
The back and forth continued, and with former players eventually weighing in. Most tweets have been deleted, but we have this screenshot from a tweet exchange posted today from former players Jasmine Carson and Alexis Morris. Morris said, switched up to gang up on me. Now y'all falling out. With Carson responding in part with, y'all better hope I don't say nothing.
Yeah. So even former players are getting involved now. So yeah. So right now, like I said before, she's not with the team right now. The coach ain't saying nothing, which I think a lot of people are criticizing her. Let me go to this thing right here. Like, I'm not gonna read the article, but because like I said, everything else is we kind of already know about. But like the coach ain't saying nothing, and we have no idea what was going on with Angel Reese. But a lot of people are talking about NIL, and look, right now, Angel Reese probably makes $1 million plus on NIL deals.
Oh, really?
She's making bank. She's making money, and she is the premier. Yeah, and she's the most talked about. Her and Caitlin Clark are the most talked about players they're the most talked about players in college basketball right now. You can make the argument that they're the top. They're probably the top female basketball players in the world right now, as far as popularity.
Yeah.
So it's like this is crazy stuff right here, man.
So pretty much.
This crazy stuff right here. I mean, you have any thoughts about this or?
Oh wow, they just. Oh man, I think they might actually win this game now. Oh wow, that was a huge throw. My bad. But the score is 9-10, and
yeah.
Oh wow. The Vikings might actually lose this game now. But okay, yeah. I mean, I don't really have too much to say about it. The only thing that I'm confused by is that if the reason is because her grades are low, I think the coaching staff or whoever it is that's in charge, they need to address that and let everybody know what the situation is. You owe it to at least to your school. You owe it to them. You owe it to them to let them know exactly what's going on. Why isn't she playing? Now, if there's more, to the story, if it's more than just grades, and if it's something like that's personal, then I can understand that. But if it's basketball related, like let's say she purposely not wanting to play because whatever beef that she had, or you said she was on the bench. Did it say she started from the bench or something?
No. What happened was she was playing, right? I think the first game that they played, they lost to Colorado. I think Colorado, and apparently she struggled. And the second game, apparently she played well. I mean, well as in it was still early in the game. They were kicking the crap out of the team that they were playing, but she got subbed out and never came back in the game. And the coach is not explaining why that happened. But
yeah, okay.
Clearly, when it comes to the infighting, there's clearly something going on. There's clearly something going on, and the coach knows about it. And that pretty much that's it.
Yeah, if the coach knows, more stuff, you need to address it, to the public, or at the very least, your school. You need to address it because, again, this is a disservice, to the fans and to the people who support you and who support your team. And but look, if it has anything to do with grades, let's say if it's grades alone, then yeah, she needs to start hitting the books, ask for a tutor or whatever it is, to get her grades up. Because now if it's going to compromise, the team's success, obviously it's pretty much all her fault. You can't blame anybody else, but her. But it is a very big deal because if those numbers are correct, that this was like the biggest ratings that they ever had in, like you said, like what, 30 years, like, or 20 years, whatever years, that it was, then clearly, her name holds, some sort of merit or, relevancy. And knowing that, you better do whatever it is that you can to make sure she gets back on the court. And if that means, get an extra tutor or whatever, yeah, you got to address that ASAP. You got to address it ASAP. And at the end of the day, I feel like, the school or the coaching staff or the teachers, whoever, all have some, share to blame, for this, because that if her grades are really that bad and you want her, to play, you should have tried to, beat that beforehand. They scored. So with 10 seconds left, yeah, the Chicago Bears win. Yeah, at the end of the day, man, they should have probably done a better job of trying to prepare her and to prepare her, with her grades, help her with her grades.
Well,
But now that
when you think about how is it how easy is it to say that when the player that you're supposed to, who you're supposed to, pretty much say, oh, well, we got to get her back in the classroom, when she's out there, she's doing, modeling, she's doing TV appearances, she's doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? It's hard, man. Like I said before, I don't I don't know what's going on. Like, she is young, she's young, so I don't know what's going on, but I don't know. I don't think it's not a good thing.
yeah. It's
definitely not a good thing.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Now, okay, let me see, because I'm reading some of the article, and there's some. Okay, let me see if I could. Okay. So clearly, okay, so this is the person the coach of the team is Kim Mulkey, right? She's a well-known coach. Like, she's known for her flamboyant outfits and all that other crap, right? Here's what she said: you always have to deal with locker room issues. Sometimes you all know about them. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you want to know more than what you're entitled to. I'm going to protect my players always. They are like a family. To me, I know some people have criticized her because she's saying that by her not talking about why she's benched, you're doing the opposite. So now you have a lot of people speculating as to why one of your best your best player, your most recognizable player, the player that's making the most money off of NIL, why is she not playing? That's what we're trying to find out. Why is she not playing? And you're not telling us. And you're not telling us. Like, you are you watching a lot of
yeah.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah, I thought okay. I thought they were gonna get far, but yeah.
No. That there was one play where it was clear penalty.
Yeah.
But you're saying that if you're not telling people what's going on, then all it does is leave people to speculation.
Exactly.
And you have someone in Angel Reese who is very polarizing. There's a lot of people who don't like her for whatever reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have a lot of people who don't like her, and if she's the one that was being insinuated that her grades are not up, you have the numbers, right? You have the NIL money, and you got all this drama going on backstage. It only speculates something that is something going on with her. And when you're not saying nothing about it, that's all you're doing is leaving them to speculation. That's it.
Yeah, and that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly not good. The rumors is going to, that's how rumors start, and it's just going to continue to, cause, more drama, in the near future. So yeah, not good.
Yeah. on Monday night, this is a couple weeks ago. Reese was seen only during pre-game hype video produced before the season, and which features Reese wearing a crown. She also missed LSU previous game against Southern Louisiana and was benched for a half against Kent State. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else is covered by stuff that we've already seen. Yeah, everything else is stuff that we already talked about. But yeah, man, like this is something that you're gonna have to deal with a little bit more when it comes to NIL, right? And name, image, and likeness when it comes to these players. Like the coaches are not gonna do not have the power that they once have. Because back in the day, coaches, they make all this money, they make millions and millions of dollars, and the players don't make anything, or they're not even allowed to make anything. They're not even allowed to make anything. So they have all the power. Now with name, image, and likeness, they don't have that. They don't have that same amount of power no more.
Yeah.
So yeah. So like at the end of the day, we'll see what's up. Like I said, I don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is that she's young, and I mean these things are gonna happen more and more. But I do wonder if more are gonna come out, because this just seems silly. It seems silly that the moms are going out there and just airing out dirty laundry like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, Malta said that ain't none of these chicks can dunk a fucking basketball.
Yeah.
I think I saw a video of this high school girl. She's like 6'2". She was dunking pretty. I don't know if the rim was lowered, but she was dunking the ball pretty well. So I don't know. I don't know if Angel Reese can dunk. I mean, she seemed tall enough to. I mean, it's not really a big deal. Like, at the end of the day, these girls are stars. There's no denying that. These girls are stars.
Yeah, as far as
regarding the whole WNBA thing. Yeah, okay. Regarding the whole WNBA thing, right? Like, I was watching a video of these girls these ladies talking about the situation. And they're saying how, it's not a correlation that these girls stay in school when they could just gone to the WNBA and make less money. Now she did mention something that is true. WNBA players, while they don't make the money that the men do, they do make decent money if they get endorsements. If they get endorsements, right? Mm-hmm. And we've seen some WNBA players who are clearly superstars. They are.
Yeah, it looks like your internet is kind of going in and out.
Yeah, I do apologize. My internet's acting stupid right now. But these girls are superstars. And the fact that they decided to stay in school instead of going to the WNBA, I think that's a problem. I do think that's a problem. I don't think it's something that I know these girls were trying to defend it, but I'm like, that's nothing to defend. Like, these girls should be in the WNBA. Maybe Reese can stay an extra year because she's younger, but
you think it's bad that you Clark want to stay in
should be in the WNBA right now. I mean, we're not gonna sit there and pretend that they're in school because of the education.
I mean, I remember in the past.
And you tell me that you can't.
I remember in the past, even college football players, would stay, an extra year for education. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with you wanting to stay.
Here's the thing that the NFL the NFL is different. No. Here's the thing. The NFL is different because they have an age limit. So you have to be in college like at least 2 years after 2 years before you can declare. Either 2 or no, it's 3 years. 3. You have to be in school. You have to be in school like maximum 3 years before you can enter the draft. They don't have that. They don't have that in when it comes to basketball. I think in basketball, I think you have to be 19. I don't know what the WNBA is. And here's the thing: I understand staying in school, but you're not in school just to be in school. You're in school to continue to learn how to play basketball.
Yeah,
that's why you're there. And me, Caitlin Clark, she's more than ready to be in the NBA and WNBA. She's more than ready. But I guarantee you she's there because she's making more money doing NIL than she would making a WNBA salary. Same thing with Angel Reese. And I get it. Like, WNBA players do have endorsements. They do make supplemental income. But the facts is that if you're making more money in your NIL deal, then why would you go to the WNBA? Why would you go to the WNBA? Because the thing when it comes to college the way that the landscape is when it comes to college basketball and the WNBA is actually similar to the correlation between the NBA in the 80s in college basketball. And I'm talking early 80s. Because remember, in the 70s, the NBA was struggling. The NBA was struggling for viewership. Their finals was on tape delay. But what was successful? College basketball. And a lot of times, you can make the argument that when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came to the league, they were arguably the two most popular players coming into the league. Why? Yeah. Because people knew who they were from their championship, from their NCAA championship game, where they played against each other. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the WNBA can do the same thing with these two girls. The problem is that the money's not there. The money's not there. Now we can argue over why it's not there to blue in the face, but at the end of the day, the money's not there. And if I'm Caitlin Clark, I'd rather stay in college. Much rather stay in college. One, I'll get better playing basketball, and two, I'm making all this money, and I don't have to deal with the travel of the WNBA and deal with these girls. And look, these girls can play basketball. They can. You know what I mean? You have grown women there. You don't have kids playing college. And and you have to understand a lot of these girls, a lot of these girls may be a little bit resentful of Caitlin Clark and more so Angel Reese about how much popular they are than they are, how much money they were making. Because NIL is new. NIL is brand new. So these girls weren't making the type of money coming into the WNBA like that these girls are.
Mm-hmm.
You just know it. I'm telling you, man. But if you're the WNBA, you have to take advantage of this. You have to, because you cannot have what happened to them. What happened to Brittany Griner? Because I remember I heard about Brittany Griner. I heard about her in high school, because one, she dunked, and two, she was super dominant. And now, now I know where she plays now. But back in the day, I didn't know where the hell she was playing. Didn't know any. I didn't know where she was playing. Didn't see none of her games. None of that. You have two stars on the verge of coming to your league. You have to promote your league, and you have tons of girls who are marketable in your league right now. You need to do a better job of marketing your players. You do.
I
But
mean,
that's pretty much. I don't really have much else to say.
They tried that. They tried marketing their league. They tried constantly putting
they're doing a better job. They're doing a better job.
Well, but even if that's the case,
Yeah, they're doing a better
they tried
job.
putting their league out there.
But here's the thing.
Hello?
Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think there's a long delay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, there's a
my bad.
There's a huge delay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But go ahead. I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think the problem is they've tried, having extra advertisement, and I've been seeing ads to where when there's an ad for the NBA, they would always include, the WNBA. So I think it's there. Like they've tried, their best, but at the end of the day, if people are not interested, they're just not interested. I think what the WNBA needs to do, they just have to try to be. I think the only way for them to succeed is to listen to what a lot of the men have said. Lower the rim. So that more girls could dunk. I honestly believe that they need to have more grip on the balls, to improve ball handling, and make minor tweaks here and there. And I think the sport has to be a little bit more different than the NBA, so that way it'll entice people to watch. But I don't think, but even with these two girls, I don't necessarily think that they could save the WNBA if the overall product's not good. If the overall product is not good, you're going to need multiple stars for people to watch, because remember, with only two women, there are only two teams are going to be relevant in the whole entire league. And if that's the case, I don't think that's enough to make the league
profitable. I mean, right,
for ratings to be high. And then when you have to compete with the NBA, like there's no competition.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Like they only have two. As far as I'm concerned, based on what we tell from last year, they only have two teams that are relevant: New York and Las Vegas. Why? Because all the best players, you know what I'm saying? Like, but even with all that, right? Even with all of that, their finals average what 1.1 million viewers. The college basketball game averaged over 9 million.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're the WNBA, you need to find out how we can take at least a fraction of that 9 million and bring it to the WNBA. You need you need to bring a fraction of that audience and bring it to your sport. And the main reason why is because of these two girls. Because these two girls, these are the two girls that can if we do it correctly. And like you said, despite whatever you may feel about the WNBA, I believe they are expanding. I believe they're doing. I believe they're doing expansion, and they do need it, because there's having only two relevant teams is not a good thing.
I mean, I don't think I don't think
because I mean I'm looking at because I don't like obviously I don't watch the WNBA.
Yeah, I don't think an expansion I don't think an expansion is going to do anything, for the league. I think what they need to do is focus with the teams that they have right now. Try to make them as relevant, as possible. Because if all you're going to do is just make more teams, that's not going to make people care about your product.
Well, obviously they can't go crazy with it, but they definitely do need it because I'm looking at the roster. Anyways, I was looking at these rosters, right, and I'm looking at New York, right. They have Brianna Stewart, who I've heard of. They have Sabrina Ionescu, who I've heard. I'm sure you've heard of her too, right?
No.
Did you hear me? You never heard of her?
No.
Never
heard.
Just when you mentioned her, I know. That's weird. Well, okay. So on and then the Vegas side, I think they had Aja Wilson, who I've heard of, Chelsea Plum, who I've heard of, and mind you, that woman's fine. I think she dates a football player. That woman's fine. I just followed her on Instagram. No, legitimately, that woman's fine. Damn. And I even think Candace Parker's on that team, but she didn't play that year because of injury or whatnot. So like I'm hearing all these stars are all bunched up into these teams, and I'm like, you gotta expand a little bit more. You gotta expand a little bit more because like I think having like I kind of and like to me I kind of get it because in the NBA during the 80s, most of the time it was the Boston Celtics or the LA Lakers, especially in the West. It was really mainly just the Lakers. But yeah, but you need more competitive teams. You need more competitive teams than that because you need conference rivals. That's what you need. You need conference rivals. Like the Celtics during the early 80s, they had the 76ers, right? They had the Milwaukee Bucks for a little bit, and then they had the Detroit Pistons. I really can't tell with the Lakers, you know what I mean? Because they were always so dominant. But like you said, but then obviously you had Detroit, then they go with the Bulls. You need conference rivals. That's what you need. You need conference rivals. But yeah, I mean that's it. I don't really have much else to say about it in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say as far as the league goes. Like I said, I don't know if an expansion is going to help because you're just making more and more teams where people don't really care about in the first place, and I don't know if two girls is going to be enough to make the whole entire league relevant. It maybe the two teams, but as far as the whole entire product as a whole, I don't think people are really going to care. And like I said, you just have, to me, I think it's the product that needs to be fixed. As long as if you could find a way to improve their the fundamentals, the dribble handling, the dunking, and things of that nature, then maybe you might have a case. But until they humble themselves and realize that the product is not good, because if you think the product is good, then then that's a different story. But until they realize that they're far inferior compared to the NBA, like they have to try something else. And I don't think with all the years and all the preparation that they've had for 20 plus years, and yet there still haven't been any improvements. I think it's time to start fresh and do something new. But until they do that, I think this is going to remain the way it is.
Oh, all right. So let's see. So Moto continues on. He said that when I was in school, I had an average GPA of 3.0. My father was very upset. I would get good grades only to make my parents proud. And Ryan Meadows said that 3.0 is awesome. I barely graduated with a 2.0. So yeah, man. So all right. So moving on to the last topic. Unfortunately, I think I'm having internet issues. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. I think we
But
should
if I
probably
switch, then I'm gonna get booted out.
probably we should probably wait because like it's getting like really late, and your internet is like so bad. I could barely hear you now when it comes to the internet. Plus, I have to wake up early again. So like I mean we could if you want we could continue on later this week, or we could wait till next week. Up to you.
No. We can continue. We can continue next week. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, because I
That's
have
fine.
to.
We'll get to the Getty stuff. I mean, yeah. No, yeah. Don't worry. We'll end it here because my internet's acting stupid. So I apologize, everybody, but I don't know what's going on with my internet. But because I'm online, all the lights are good, but I can tell that our internet connection is acting stupid right now. So let's get out of here. So Meadows, thank you for watching. Malta, thank you for watching. Yeah, like I said. Let me see. Oh man. Joe, thank you for watching. Ruben, thank you for watching. Nolan, thank you for watching. Whitney, thank you for watching. Rosemite, thank you for watching. And yeah, that's it, man. Like I said, we'll figure something out. Like if you want to do something tomorrow, we can do something tomorrow. Just kind of like just get this thing over with because I do want to I did want to talk about Josh Giddey, but with everything going on with my internet, it's not going to work. So
Yeah. So yeah, I do have to get going.
yeah,
But
yeah. So I
I
mean, yeah. So
definitely
Steve,
enjoyed the
I'll give you the
podcast.
last word. I'll give you the last.
Yeah, I did enjoy the podcast. Yeah, good good topics. And for those of you who are here still with us, appreciate you. And as far as you and Ryan Metals, yeah, YouTube doesn't like Donald too much. So I know you've been trying to put his name in the chat. It's just isn't working. YouTube just prevents you from doing it. It's to the point where now I'm afraid to even say his name now because I don't want YouTube to ban this channel or delete this podcast. So with all that being said, if you guys would love to, I would love if you guys would post on Twitter, Snapchat, IG, Facebook, whatever platform that you use, and then we will continue to make more products for you guys and gals. So this is the Traditionalist 101 signing out, and have a good one.
All right, later, guys.